Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome to the weekly episode of the NASCAR podcast here on YouTube. I'm your host for the week, DannyBTalks. Want to go ahead and give you a heads up. We're going to be taking a 30-second moment of silence right now to remember David Pearson, who sadly passed away this week. One of the greatest racers of all time. And, you'll hear more from me regarding his career in the future. As for now, we're going to pause right now for a 30-second moment of silence. Thank you all very much for understanding why we did that, and we'll go ahead and get started in this week. All right, so once again, I'm DannyBTalks. Welcome to the weekly episode. Joined here with my two of my usual panelists here. We're waiting on Eric to join us in later, as well as a special guest here. I know we've got a lot of new subscribers coming to my channel, so thank you very much for joining me here on my YouTube channel. If you're unfamiliar with this as of right now, this is a weekly series that we do where we discuss everything that's happening in and around NASCAR. We're just a bunch of fans who love talking about it, so it's something good to collect ourselves and just give our thoughts on the sport. It's a great program, and this is actually the second to last episode for the year. We'll be starting back up next year. But we do have this tonight and one more episode after that.
We got one after
next
week. Oh. So third to last. It is actually the 40th one though.
Yeah.
Shows you what I know. As far as me, me, I do the 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about, as well as a few other series. And by the way, no more squeaky chair. I finally got my OP seat, and also I just got to do it. Can you do this?
What an ugly man. What an ugly boy.
Well, is that gonna be Darian's intro then?
Yeah, I guess I'll get to my intro then. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Darian Gilliam, aka Black Flags Matter. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go do it. And also, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for 6,000 subscribers. It's amazing. We're already less than a year into the channel. It'll be 1 year on December 28th. Started on December 28th of last year, so it's amazing. I really appreciate you guys. And also, look out for Monday. This Monday, we got Championship Seasons 2018. Who's it going to be? Well, find out after Sunday. So I'll hand it off to Jarrett.
What's up, guys? On the iceberg. Happy to be here again. Yeah, so 40th episode. I can tell you for sure that when Danny and I started that first night, we never expected to be here at this point. But here we are, and with all of you, almost 100. Need to lick the like button really quick because that's what we do here, in case you don't know. So enough from me. Let's hear from our guest.
I don't really have an intro, but I'm Brendan with Brendan Littell Gaming, and just ready to talk about the race this weekend, and that's about it.
So obviously we know who you're going for this weekend.
Yeah, Logano. Hopefully Truex doesn't mess him up a little bit there. That'd kind of suck, but
yeah, you got no idea how much I actually do want that to happen.
Oh, I know a lot of people do. So
I've defended Joey, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't mind having some fun.
The thing is, Joey finds himself in the situation to be the pawn that makes everything seem so bad with the playoff system.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, for people asking, Eric will probably be here in the second half of the show. He's got a class on Thursday night, so.
And I do appreciate Eric being able to understand us doing it on Thursdays because of my work schedule. I was not going to be able to do it yesterday, but I did want to host one last time for the year. So appreciate these guys for being supportive of that.
And also, if you guys don't catch any part of the episode or you can't watch the whole thing, we have a playlist. It's on my channel, has every episode. This video stream is in it right now. So if you want to share it or whatever, or you want to watch some of our older episodes, go for it.
Go catch up on the and it'll probably last you the entire off season. So, just saying.
Yeah, can understand the memes. But speaking of terrible shifts in subject, let's talk about the race.
Oof.
I couldn't shift that one as good.
Yeah.
Even I can't do that. Yeah. So I don't know who wants to go first. Me?
I'll go first. I'll go first. The race, it was a good race. I'll just give my rating early. I think it was about I'd probably give it a good 7 out of 10 there. I mean, some people were disappointed with it for some reason. I don't know why. I guess they were disappointed with the finish more so. I mean, it was just Kyle Busch just running away with it pretty much. He ended up beating Brad Keselowski. And shout out to Eric Almirola, man. That's amazing. I wouldn't have never expected that team to be in the top and to make it all the way to the round of 8 and then have a shot to make it to the final 4 there, like a legit shot after that whole wreck. As far as the playoff drivers go, Kevin Harvick leading the race, had tire problems early on. Chase Elliott ends up winning stage 1. Then Harvick had to basically climb his way back all the way inside the top 10. Then Kurt Busch was leading. I was like, wow, Kurt Busch, he might win it. I mean, he's been pretty slept on all season long. While he's been consistent, he hasn't been winning like the big 3 have all year. And then you just had that chaos on pit road with one of the stupidest rules. I even forgot that was a rule. Like, you can't pass the pace car while you're on pit road, which, I mean, how can the driver see? I don't know. I still don't really get it. And then he got held a lap. Then he was able to come back. Then non-playoff driver Denny Hamlin got into Busch on a restart and basically takes him out and also takes Chase Elliott out along with basically all the Hendrick cars, which is kind of funny if you watch Eric Estep's video on that. So also shout out to NASCAR Racing Fan 2015 for making that little meme video on Twitter that day. So that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So as far as the race goes, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, and also what's interesting is the final 4, I believe, are currently the top 4 in the point standings. So this is probably one of the only instances when you can say the playoffs actually got it right. So it's rare.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the first time that in this system since 2014's history that we've had it where the 4 best drivers over the course of the whole season make the final 4. So that's pretty cool. And I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. I think that Kyle Busch has been and Kevin Harvick for the whole season have been head and shoulders over it. So
8 wins combined.
Not
8 wins combined. Sorry,
no.
8 each. 8 wins each. It's 16 wins combined. But yeah. So I guess for some of the old school purists who, if you want someone to root for, as much as you probably don't like it, go for Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick. The race itself, I'd give it about a 7.5 out of 10. I think people are going to hate it because of who won. It's the same reason we saw hate for the Chicagoland race. I can fully admit right now that racing-wise, I was wrong about the track. I thought it might be just, one groove the whole time. No one could pass at all. There was a little bit of passing. It was a little better than the past few races at Phoenix. I'm going to call it Phoenix, not ISM. I don't. I mean, it had action. It had long runs. It had pretty much everything that people would want in a NASCAR race. I think again, people won't like it because Kyle Busch won. It's the same reason that people didn't like the Chicagoland race. So I was happy with it. I had fun with it. Yeah, that's my take. And yeah, stay away from the 11 car if you're at Hendrick.
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of going off the same sentiments that these guys have said. Yeah, it was an exciting race. It had its great, intense, exciting moments. But in the end, although it was disappointing seeing what happened with Kurt Busch and Chase Elliott, it would have been great to see one of those two make it. Guess I'm kind of glad it went the way it did because the people who I feel deserved to be there after all they'd done all year, they made it in. So in the end, I think the right people made it. And last year, I felt that Truex was on a different level than Kyle Busch. Although Harvick was in the Final Four last year, he was just kind of there. He wasn't near like he is this year. I mean, he only won 2 races last year.
They were so far apart. He won at Sonoma, and then he won at Texas to lock his way in.
Yeah, so I didn't feel that Harvick was a significant threat last year. But this year, you know, Truex, the records show that he hasn't won that many races this year compared to last year. But I feel like there was a lot more races where he should have won. So really, I see him still on the same level as Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. I see that they're all even, and then in this case, you know, there had to be the 4th guy. It's Joey Logano. I'm glad it's come down to 3 people that all deserve to have a shot at the championship, and I think at the end of the day, it's just the best man who wins. So it's turned out the best way possible.
Brendan?
Yeah, I thought it was a good race. It had a little bit of everything, kind of like you guys said. A lot of good racing. The new layout, I thought, worked really well with the restarts. I think they were more exciting, especially in person. When I used to go, they were just double file, pretty boring, but they all spread out and made for some really exciting restarts. And yeah, I think the championship 4 are the people who should have made it. They were the most consistent all year, so. I mean, it sucks what happened to Kurt Busch and Chase Elliott, but I don't know. I feel like the right 4 made it.
Not biased at all, huh?
No.
However, with going off of Chase Elliott, he did have a phenomenal end of his year, and I think that's going to be key going into next year for him to carry in a lot of momentum for next year.
Yeah, but some of these Chase fans, my gosh, they need to pump the brakes. I'm sorry.
Well, I did notice when going back to the restarts, I think I did get one thing right, is that when people spun their tires, they dropped like a rock on these restarts because it's in the middle of a turn. And I think that's what NASCAR and the track owners and everyone was going for. And I think it really worked out well. And, seeing them go in how long would you say that dog leg is? A little less than a half mile?
Probably.
Maybe let's say 4/10 of a mile. So in 4/10 of a mile, going from double file, spreading out 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever wide, and then going back together to be at most 3 wide, more than likely double file again. It made for some really exciting restarts. And overall, I think that's what they were going for, and it worked pretty well.
I want to address one comment I see was directed towards me. Do I think this race will either make or break Logano's career? I don't think so. He's still very young, has a lot more years left in him. That's not even close on Logano on that one.
Yeah, it's not even in his 30s yet.
No, he's still 28.
He's very young, but again, he's very old because he's 28. But then this is his 10th year in the Cup Series. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see once drivers like Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick start to retire to see how many championships Logano can win. Because I could see him a lot.
It's not crazy to think that Logano couldn't have even a 30-year career. So
well, I was watching it, and I promise this will feed into it. What we're talking about, but so I was watching this interview with Freddie Mercury. He was talking about Michael Jackson and how it's he's I'm older than him, but he's older than me in being a professional. He's been here longer,
Right.
And that's like Joey Logano compared to a lot of these drivers out here. It's somebody let's say a Kyle Larson or a Chase Elliott. It's they're relatively close to the same age, but Logano has been out there so much longer. He is a seasoned veteran at this point.
Whoa, okay. Hey, thank you so much for that super chat. I want to read this one, and I really appreciate that. Joey shouldn't be in, but let's go. 18. Do you think they should switch it up, the Final Four track every year? I've actually considered that, and Miami's great now. I'm actually going to go to Miami next year for the championship next year. I think it would be neat to kind of change it up, almost like they do in the NFL with the Super Bowl. Because that goes different places each year. Same with other sports; they have it in different places. It would be more of a challenge, I guess, because. Say, 1 year, we're in Miami, but then, you can't go off your notes from last year because, hey, championship race is in Atlanta next year, do it like that. And you can't always assume that the same person from last year is going to be able to run as good. So I don't know. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'd like to see a championship race at Bristol But I mean, it'd be really cold out there probably the time of year, I guess. But
Yeah, the big problem with that is like the logistics of everything. I mean, one, you got to look at weather. That eliminates, it eliminates tracks like Bristol, like Chicago, like Richmond, like Martinsville, more than likely. And at the same time, like these tracks need to know well in advance too. I would like it in theory, but then at the same time, it's like you really have a select number of tracks to choose from weather-wise. Then on top of that, depending on what their dates are in the year already, if they're like, let's say, Talladega, it's like if they're settled in and are starting to have more success with a certain date, what are they going to say to being changed? So I would like it, but I don't think that they'll have it. I think for the All-Star race, they should do that. I think the All-Star race, they should change it up every year.
they tried that, and then it didn't work. They tried Atlanta, but
Then maybe we should go back to my original idea and just get rid of the All-Star race. We have the Bud Shootout, or Clash, I should say. So that's our All-Star race enough.
Yeah, we have 2 All-Star races too. I mean, other sports they just have like one All-Star game and stuff, but in theory, All-Star games, I guess.
We start off the year, and then we really don't even get out of spring before we have another one.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Almost wonder if we should have like a third one right in the middle.
Yeah,
just have it every few weeks.
Actually, I kind of wonder, after the regular season, take a week off, but do another for fun race before we start the playoffs.
Oh, and then also when you think about it too, we have an All-Star race for winless drivers who like sucked the previous year with the Open before the All-Star race, I guess you could say. So I guess it's kind of like a participation trophy. Everyone's an All-Star, I guess. But
yeah.
What if only the Final Four race to Miami? So kind of like in the Cars movie, I guess, where they just had the final 3, I guess.
That'd more than likely be pretty boring.
Yeah,
honestly, it probably would.
Yeah.
I think even if they had just 10 drivers or 16 out there, it would probably be pretty boring for the most part. It's not like the Pro Series, shameless plug.
Well, it would honestly just look like maybe a NASCAR Heat 3 lobby with just a few people.
Well, then like it's not like the Pro Series where you're guaranteed to have good racing. Shameless plug.
Oh, by the way, the Pro Series, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go subscribe to it. Season opener is next Sunday, actually. Well, it's kind of the season opener, but not really. It's the duels at Daytona, so make sure to tune into that to watch some of your favorite YouTubers race.
All of our beautiful faces will be there. Maybe not on camera, but we'll be there.
I'll be there when I can. Of course, everyone knows my work schedule is crazy doing car sales. So.
Yep. So once you get done with the real life NASCAR season, you get ours.
Yeah.
So we should probably. I know we talked about the race a little bit, but anything more in depth we should probably go off of when it comes to the Final Four. You want me to just look up and read off stats if I can find what I can find?
Well, one thing I'll say this: I looked at the average finish for all of their intermediate tracks, all the Final Four. Basically, they're basically all in the top 6. So I don't know. It's just really going to be hard to pick a winner this time, probably. I mean, other races and stuff you can point out and say like, yeah, that guy's going to run well, that guy's going to win and stuff. But this week, not so much. I know Kyle Busch is like 5 point. It's like in the 5.2 average finish, something like that, which is crazy.
Let me just okay, so I'll just go off of Racing Reference here, and I'll just read off a few things for the Final Four drivers. So the first one, Logano. This season in 35 starts, he's got 2 wins, 12 top 5s, 25 top 10s, and a pole. He has led 854 laps as well, and has an average finish of 10.9. Pretty good.
See, yeah. I mean, he's also that one that was slept on until Martinsville.
Yeah, I was saying at Talladega to watch out for him, and I'm not talking the second Talladega. I'm talking the May Talladega.
Yeah.
So,
I just can't help us think on Joey Logano. 2016, the last time he was in the championship for what he was willing to do to try to be champion, and obviously ended up taking out the big crash of Carl Edwards. I just wonder, are we going to see anything like that from him again?
If he takes out Truex, oh my gosh, that would be. Oh,
we're going to see a Days of Thunder remake in in Homestead if that happens.
Put me some tires on them.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think, Brendan?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I feel Truex might take him out before Logano gets the chance, honestly. I just have that feeling.
But will he do it to make it look like an accident?
I think so, yeah. I think he'll tap him, but a little harder than Logano tapped him at Martinsville.
And I think that opens the door for something that a lot of fans won't like to think about, but we might have to, is what does NASCAR do if that happens, like especially earlier in the race? Do you park Truex? Do you like take him down a lap? Like, because then you have huge championship deals there.
Depends on how he makes it look.
So that's the thing. If it's a baller strike call by NASCAR, I mean, we've seen their history of how they are. That is very hit or miss, and I'm just saying we could have some controversy that might even overshadow the championship. So that's something to look out for.
I'm just kind of hoping that all 4 of them wreck. And NASCAR's in a pretty bad situation there.
37th place finisher gets the championship.
Because it's basically like, okay, who gets towed last? Congratulations.
Pretty much, actually, yeah. It's basically who NASCAR chooses to tow last would probably be what it would be.
Right. I don't think that would happen though, but that's an extreme.
You think they would lift their damage policy rule and let them see if they could fix it just to see who could get out there first?
Yeah,
NASCAR has changed its rules during the races before. Why is it there anything different to say they would do it again?
Yeah, that's a
look at 2015 with the restart rules. Yeah, they gave the BS excuse that they didn't have a restart. They waved the green flag. It was a restart.
I mean, obviously the chances of this happening are very, very slim, but it is always interesting to think of, like, what would they do in that situation?
Oh, I think they would totally change it for TV's sake.
Yeah, probably.
Keep the drama up.
I also have a feeling, speaking of TV, I have a feeling that ratings might go up this year compared to maybe last year, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of promotion on like NBC this week and all that stuff. Like they were even on like
they were using Queen's I forgot which Queen song it was. I think it was Bohemian Rhapsody they were actually using.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to change the way the trends are looking though with TV ratings if they're gonna do that though, because the ones for this year came in and they're not so hot, to say the least.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Jimmy Kimmel. Who was it they was on with?
Fallon. They all blur together. They're all the same person. Just different voices. Because this year they had a 2.0 rating with 3.31 million viewers. So all the fear that a lot of us had and a lot of fans had that this would be the year we went below 1.0 won't happen, because I mean, even if it decreases by like 50%, it still won't go below that next week. So that's good news. But yeah. It was down from a 2.2 last year and just down about 300,000 viewers. So not good, but compared to what we've been looking at, it's still better.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought there, I guess. But yeah, I mean, but the way the trends are, it's not looking too well, but we'll see.
Looking at the trends.
Oh, looking at trends, let's look at another driver in the Final Four stats. We got Kyle Busch. These are some NASCAR Thunder 2004 career mode numbers for you. 35 races, 8 wins, which, by the way, if anyone is keeping track, in his Cup Series career, he has 51 wins, so that is mighty impressive. He's been racing since he was 18. Oh, wait, shoot, no. Yeah, he's been racing since he was 18 as well. He has 21 top 5s, 27 top 10s, 4 poles, and has led 1,448 laps with an average finish of 8.4.
Hold on. Got another super chat, bro.
Hold on. Sorry. Sometimes I like to look over at you guys. Appreciate it, Alec. Just like 2015, Kyle Busch had a consistent chase but didn't show that much speed until Miami, and we all know what the result was. Well, honestly, looking back at that 2015 season, obviously, he was kept out of the ride for a majority of the year, didn't have the chance to be driving it, but he did what he had to when he came back, because he won like what was it, 4, 5 races?
Five, yeah.
was like all back to back too, and he won more in the chase and did exactly what he needed to that season. So I I'll honestly defend Kyle Busch a lot for that championship. I think he did exactly what he had to do based on the rules, and he won a lot of races. So I would say, and plus that team was good all year. They had great finishes, even David Reagan. So I mean that team was prepared and was ready to win that championship that year.
That's what the owners' championship's for. I will always have an asterisk next to that driver championship, but the owner championship is completely deserved because the team was there all year.
So basically, technically, Matt Crafton, David Reagan, and Eric Jones are NASCAR champions.
Oh yeah, they deserve it. Yeah, they deserve a ring then for that.
Yeah, when you really think about it, like they should.
I would like to know if they got that ring.
I guess I always forget about Matt Crafton running that car that year too.
Yeah, Daytona 500, man, which is his only Cup Series start, by the way. Which
I always remember that because every time you'd see his car, he was falling back. It was like every time they showed Matt Crafton, it's like, and we got Matt Crafton here, 2 cars pass him on the bottom. How's Matt Crafton doing? Falling back, got left out to dry.
He's like, this ain't a truck.
But so what do we think about Kyle Busch's stats this year?
Like you said, NASCAR 2004 type level stats here, man. I mean, what was the average finish? Like a 9.2, something like that?
8.4. He's been the best driver this year.
I mean, that's unheard of. Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, if we had the old standings, the old Winston Cup standings, he has the title basically locked, pretty much, barring
especially with Harvick's deduction of points.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how consistent he's been all year. And of course, you have some fans that say, well, he's the 2015 champion, but then he's not really, even though he basically did what he had to do and stuff. He's still a champion in my eyes and stuff. But I guess to shut these naysayers up saying that he doesn't have a title, he has to go out and win this week. So
yep. Brendan?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I was paying attention to something else. Yeah, I think Kyle Busch, he's my favorite, honestly, to pick the championship. I picked him once the chase started. I don't know. I feel like he's been the most consistent all year. His pit crew's been better than Harvick's, and I think it's going to come down between them two for the championship. So I feel Kyle Busch is going to get it done.
Wait, Logano's not your favorite?
No, he is my favorite driver. But, to win the championship, Kyle Busch is, my pick.
At least you're modest.
Well, I mean, I can be honest. I mean, Logano, he's ran good, but, not really that well a mile and a half this year. He's been, top 10. I don't think he has it to compete for Kyle Busch and Harvick and Truex.
Kind of like Jeff Gordon 2015. Good, but not top 10, which normally would be pretty good. But, yeah, when you got to be first, second, or third, just 8th ain't going to cut it. Yeah. But, I mean, at the same time, we've seen anything can be possible, this year. I mean, you look at Chicagoland, that track – I've been going there. It's been a dud, and it had the best finish of the year, arguably. So I don't know. I think that we're gonna have a lot of expected stuff. I think that the 18, the 4, 22, 78, they're all going to be up there probably in the top 6 for most of the race. But I also think we're probably going to see something unexpected, especially if we have a caution at the end and we have late race restarts. Then you got to talk about people if they're going to pit. Depending on how long it's been, you're going to talk about people who won't pit. Fuel mileage possibly could come into it. So, again, that is one thing with this system. You're never going to know who wins till the end.
And also, it seems like every single year since this Final Four format has been integrated, there's always some backmarker car that always affects the whole outcome of the championship too. So. I guess in related news, Tanner Berryhill is going to drive the 97 again, so just watch out for that.
Wonderful.
God.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments on my most recent video that says that he'll end up on my 5 NASCAR drivers he forgot about series.
No, Tanner Berryhill, nobody knew who that was, but I knew who he was.
Now we all know who he is.
He raced in the Xfinity series full time in 2014. He actually led 1 lap that year, so good for him. But he basically ran 29 of the 33 races and had 0 wins, 0 top 5s, and 0 top 10s, and an average finish of 29.4, I think something like that. But yeah, so I knew who he was, but unfortunately his dad's team shut down, so he was gone for a while. But then he all of a sudden just reappeared last weekend, I guess.
Do we want to talk about, let's see, the third one on here? We have, wow, I didn't realize he was 38. 38-year-old Martin Truex Jr. in 35 starts this year. He has 4 wins, 19 top 5s, 20 top 10s, which means that I jinxed him when I said that I thought that he would be the first driver in a long time to shut it out with a full season of just as many top 5s as top 10s.
Those are NASCAR Thunder 2004 stats as well.
But he needs to lead 4 more laps this weekend. Why? Because he's led 996 laps. And if he would lead 4 more laps this weekend, it would be the 3rd straight season he has led over 1,000 laps. So,
damn.
Which is really cool because if you look back, 2014, how many laps do you guys think he led? And if you know it, don't answer. How many laps do you think he led in 2014?
I can't say now. I know the answer. I can't say.
All right. I'll leave it to the other two then. How many laps do you think he led?
I don't think it'd be a lot.
All right. Yeah,
I know the answer. So.
Okay, Danny, guess.
I can't give a reasonable guess, to be honest with you.
Just throw out a number, man.
Say a number.
Throw out a number.
I mean,
playing 6'9".
Just throw a number. Come on.
55.
Don't look. No, the chat has been telling you it is 1. He led 1 lap in 2014. 2015, he led 567. 2016, he led 1,809, and last year he led 2,253. So if you look at laps led, this is his worst year since 2015. And you have another super chat.
Damn, from the same guy.
Appreciate it. What are your champions for this weekend? Mine are Gregson, Bill, and Kyle B. All Toyotas. That's great picks. We'll be getting to our picks later. We'll actually. So let me run you through. Usually on our predictions part of the show, we would break down who do we think is going to suck, who do we think is going to be an underdog, and who do we think is going to win. In this case, underdog and who's going to suck really doesn't matter because we'll be focusing more on who's winning the Truck Series, who's winning the Xfinity Series, and who's winning the Cup Series.
That's right.
I want to look something up really quick because we had a meme running on the early part of the season.
I'm hearing a lot.
Yeah, that was Brendan on his part, but yeah. What were you saying?
I'm gonna look something up. Can you mute yourself? Someone.
Someone mute themselves.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No, you're good, man.
I'm still trying to figure all this. I just downloaded this today. On Google Hangout.
Darian, I think that's coming from you.
It's coming from me. Wait, hold on.
Mute Darian. Okay, let me talk it. Yay! Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
okay.
Perfect. He's gone.
Okay. Yeah, we finally found a way to shut him up again. All right. Let me. We had a running meme earlier this year, and it was about Jimmy Johnson and how many laps he's led, and how we led it just as many as him. Well, Jimmy Johnson so far this year has led 40 laps.
Couldn't even match his number.
Well, he's got one more race. But yeah, this would be the lowest he's had in a season since 2001 when he ran 3 races.
And it is officially the first year he has not won at least 2 races.
I got another thing I want to compare because I think this would be really funny, especially since I get so much crap from Johnson fans about this. Let me look it up. But if I'm not mistaken, let's see. All right, laps led. Oh, yes. Yeah, so laps led in a season for a full season. Jimmy Johnson's total, if he doesn't lead 7 laps in this race, will be lower than Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s career low in laps led in a season, which was 2017.
Wow.
Do you want to realize how bad he has run compared to Johnson, and compared to usual? I mean, Junior led more laps in 2016 when he missed half the year than Johnson has led this year. And I'm not ripping on Johnson to rip on him because I do like Jimmy Johnson. I've met him a few times. He's a really good person. But I mean, when you look at that standard, when you look at the standard he's been at.
He was in the playoffs too, and he might have made it onto the round of 12 and stuff had things go his way. And oh, by the way, guys, sorry, I forgot to have my Bluetooth on too. I knew I was forgetting something.
Well, when you look at Johnson's career, and this is what makes it even more shocking, from 2007 through 2014, he led over 1,000 laps in each of those years. Now you go from 2013, he led 1,985 laps. 2014, he led 1,310. 2015, he led 558. 2016 was a little more up in laps led, which was about the only category he was up. He led 737. Last year, he led 217, and now he has 40 this year. That is just, wow.
I mean, talk about being straight downhill, and then you have to also come and you have to put into question some of the Jimmy Johnson fans who were pretty mad about the whole Knaus Johnson split. It was inevitable. I mean, the way they ran this year, despite making the playoffs. I mean, just look at those numbers, man. I mean, 40 laps led by Jimmy Johnson in Hendrick equipment. I know Hendrick's fallen off a little bit, but geez.
And unless we run almost 500 laps at Homestead, it'll be the least amount of laps he's completed in a full-time season as well, by a large margin.
That's insane.
He has matched his top 10s from last year, so he could exceed that. He has 11. He has 2 top 5s, so he won't match last year either. And last year he had 3 wins. This year, more than likely, he'll have 0. Points-wise, this would more than likely be his lowest, finishing in the point standings, 14th. His average finish is the same as last year, 16.8, so he could get better with that. He finished more races this year than last year, but he has finished less on the lead lap. He finished 22 on the lead lap this year compared to 25 last year. It's just almost every major metric of how good a team has been, Johnson has decreased over the last 5 years, and especially this year to last.
Here's a good question here. Jared Edwards brought this up. You said that Johnson had led 40 laps this season. How many laps has Byron and Bowman led each this year?
Let me check.
That's probably less. I mean, Chase Elliott's been that whole team.
Byron less, but I think I want to say Bowman has led more. Byron has led 61.
Wow.
William Byron has led 61 laps.
And Bowman's more than that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Alex Bowman has led more than Jimmy Johnson has this year. And I know for a fact Chase Elliott has. Yeah, Alex Bowman has led 71 laps this year.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Based on the performance, based on how this isn't one of Johnson's best tracks, I think his work is cut out for him to be. I mean, he is, especially, if you look at a lot of these metrics, I mean, he's been worse than Alex Bowman this year. He has one less top 5 than Alex Bowman. He has less laps led than Alex Bowman. He has less laps finished. Like Alex Bowman,
he has a lower point standing, so
lower point standings, lower average finish than Alex Bowman. I mean, he is the 3rd best Hendrick car right now, and William Byron has the reason that he is 20 years old. It's his first career season, and he's getting Chad Knaus next year, which who knows? A shakeup might be what this team needs, but. Wow. I mean, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, I think it kind of is like how Richard Petty fell off at the end of his career.
Whoa, I don't know. Whoa. That's a bit much. I don't know. Yeah, Richard Petty, he just freaking like plummeted. Like Johnson, yeah, it's been a slow, steady decline. But Richard Petty at the end of his career just basically tanked pretty much.
Being a champion 2 years ago to literally being completely irrelevant in all but 2 races this year.
I wouldn't compare it to Petty. I would compare it more
because it's not Earnhardt. I mean, Earnhardt's worst year was what, 14th in points or 10 or 12, and that was when it was a full season.
Yeah,
I can't really compare it to Earnhardt Jr. because he was like good and bad and good and bad. So I don't.
Yeah, his career is bipolar in performance.
Basically. I don't know. I don't know if I'd compare it to Richard Petty though, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big downfall. I mean, it's definitely a big downfall and stuff. I mean, the 48's literally the gold standard every single year, it seems. Well, except this year. So it's crazy.
I can't really compare it to Jeff Gordon because, I mean, he went out swinging his last year. So
to be fair, he really was that he ran between like 8th to 12th most of that year. And had that thing with Kenseth and Logano not happened, I don't know if he makes it that year.
No, Logano would have won that race. It was Logano probably would have won.
I mean, I don't know if he'd made it with points. I don't know how that would work out. I didn't look back at it, but
I don't think he would have made it at all.
I honestly think. I think 2015 for Gordon is vastly overrated compared to 20. I think 2015 is vastly overrated compared to 2014 for Jeff Gordon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I don't know. I remember the beginning of the season.
I think had he won 2014 and the championship that year, I think Jeff Gordon would have retired and sailed off into the sunset.
Yeah, I remember 2015. I remember early in the year, like all talks were like, "Damn, that team's. Oh, you got another super chat again. The same guy. Wow.
Appreciate it, Alec. You were a very generous person. So Jimmy is honestly a great guy. I went to the New Hampshire race, and he actually had time to take a selfie of me. Really hope he wins this weekend with his throwback. Yeah, the throwback car looks amazing. It's very tempting. I might at least try to order like the 164 diecast of that car. Very beautiful throwback for it. It'd be great to see him win in it. Do I think it's going to happen? No, not really. But yeah, he is a great guy. He actually, when we was over at Talladega, he signed 2008 diecast I have of him, and then he signed my fiance's little mini helmet that she has of him. So I mean, he there was a ton of people there. He didn't take he didn't say no to anybody. He just signed. He was great. He took his time with everybody. He's obviously a veteran of the sport and knows how to treat the fans.
I will. I bet a lot of Jimmy Johnson fans, though, after they hear what I have to say, hope that I meet him next year, because I met him and got his autograph in 2009, 2013, and 2016. So I'm betting a lot of people are like, meet him again, because there's kind of a common denominator.
It's kind of funny how that turns around on him. I remember like 10 years ago, fans were sometimes booing him and stuff, and they were just hoping he would fail and stuff like that. But now that it's happened, everyone's hoping he succeeds again. I don't know. It's crazy how that works.
Appreciate the $2 there, Blue Jimmy 48 fan. I won Johnson's Psycho Watch. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds good.
Oh, he won his Psycho Watch. I don't know. I have no clue.
I hope you enjoy it. I'm sorry, I just don't know what that is.
Anyway, I'm gonna read off the last of the Final Four's stat line. So another NASCAR Thunder 2004 career season on tab with 42-year-old Kevin Harvick, who's ran 35 races. In those 35, he has 8 wins, though many would put an asterisk next to that number, with 22 top 5s, 28 top 10s, 4 poles, 1,932 laps led, and a 9.0 average finish. And when I say some guys would put an asterisk, I'm not talking me. I'm talking Bob Ross.
Oh yeah, that's right, Eric. Man, he was hoping to Harvick
was fiery
all weekend. Yeah, he's fiery on Twitter if you follow him.
Yeah, I was like, geez, man. I'm sitting here just trying to watch the race and go back and forth between the race and the game, and I just see, gosh, maybe the common denominator is Kurt Busch. I'm like, oh, it's the whole Stewart-Haas team.
Hey, the big three's dead. The big three's dead, guys.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. Oh, wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be funny if the big three was like 2 of them were side by side going for the win? That's how it ended.
This is just a little fun fact here. I just come across my phone here, and it's a great thing to hear from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Speedway Children's Charities of Bristol celebrates another landmark year, raising $805,141. Speaking of raising money, I appreciate it, Alec. Following up from my last super chat, unlike Clint, he just walked right past everyone going to the driver meeting and leaving. You know what? I kind of want to rant on it. Not about Clint, but about some drivers that I've noticed that I feel like maybe should interact more with fans, but it feels like they have ignored them. And I got nothing against Ty Dillon, but the past few times that I've seen him at one of the driver appearances for Chevy, that is what I usually see him at, he just walked on after all that, didn't speak to anybody. And it's like, it seems a little odd for someone like him to walk on, but then Chase Elliott, William Byron, Jimmy Johnson, Alex Bowman, they all sign and take pictures of people. I don't know. It's a little interesting, but
maybe Kamikaze Games got to him that day. Maybe he was just said kamikaze.
Yeah, because I didn't watch that whole video, because when I clicked on the premiere, it was like 40 minutes in and nothing had happened. And it was like, I'm just gonna wait till later.
And again, just throwing it out there, I got nothing wrong with Ty Dillon. I actually would say that I would support him a little bit, but I don't know. It just seemed odd to me. That's all I'm saying on it.
No, I watched this video. Basically, he didn't meet Ty Dillon. Kamikaze Games did until the like an hour in, and they just had a laugh, I guess, like that. And he said, I definitely respect you a lot more for coming out and stuff. So I don't know. I guess there's that.
Confirmed January 30th, 2019. Kamikaze Games and Ty Dillon on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Kidding.
One can dream.
Yeah, but speaking of the Final Four, they were on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Anyone actually watch that?
No, I saw a clip on Twitter.
Yeah, I watched the highlights, but that's all I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone actually
who
watch
won?
late night shows anymore?
Did anyone win?
Truex won it, but I think he cheated. He didn't go around enough on the little ice rink thing. He didn't go around enough laps.
Oh, did he like wreck Logano in it, or no? He just
he just didn't go around enough times. So
the only thing I saw was like that video or whatever, and I was like, oh, what a great teammate with Kyle Busch getting in between Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, they are technically teammates, so yeah.
That's what I was saying. I mean, I'm like, wow, they're already being good teammates with each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, speaking of stuff on TV, I did see that Ross Chastain will be on an hour-long special on NBCSN of the Dale Jr. download. So anyone who watches that, you got something there.
I don't know. I mean, it'll be really interesting what they have to talk about. I mean, Junior said like, "Oh, I would have offered him a ride if there was like sponsorship." You know what I mean? There was sponsorship backing and stuff. So that's why like everyone's like always saying, "Oh, we'll just hire this guy." Well, that's not the way it works nowadays. In the early 2000s, that's exactly how it worked.
That reminds me. Let's talk about the big tweet storm that went out by Justin Marks.
Oh gosh,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That is spot on to that exact conversation right there. What he's talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me pull it up, and I'm just gonna. It's a long, lengthy rant. It's actually eight parts is what he did, but it's worth reading all of this. So just sit back. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna go through them all here. So let's start from the beginning.
You need to present yourself just in case one of us makes noise.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and set that up right now. Give me just a second here. All right, so I'm presenting myself now. Now let me get back to Twitter. So let's start from the beginning. There was an inflection point in NASCAR when the cost to compete ran so unchecked that it has surpassed owners' abilities to field cars within their fiscal abilities. The responsibility to fund racing then passed to the drivers, and a new business model trajectory emerged. Owners realized a pool of funded people who wanted to be race car drivers far surpassed that of people that wanted to be owners. So instead of looking for sponsors, owners looked for funded drivers, inadvertently changing the economic landscape forever. Bottom line, we drastically reduced the cost of competing so only the most talented drivers get opportunities, or the trend we're on continues unchecked. NASCAR is an entertainment property. We must entertain. Televised recreation will not survive. We must restrain OEM funding arms race and put the competition back in the hands of the drivers and crews. No more wind tunnels, CAD, and NASA spec R&D. It's 2018. American consumers will find other things to be entertained by. Reduce the cost, diversify the product, don't be scared to disrupt and change, seek guidance, or 2024 will be the end. If it was me, I'd implement wide-ranging economic reforms that empowered the owners to have the ability and support to run their businesses without the stress of employing their workforce based on one or a few aspiring NASCAR stars with personal funding. I know because I was one of these drivers. I know all too well the collective psychology of the owners. They want the best drivers, but they have to hire the ones that can cover payroll. If we reduce costs significantly and take risks for the sake of captivating an eager American consumer base, we give ourselves a chance. We must reinvent NASCAR, must work for the teams, and the priority must be creating an entertainment property that serves the fans. End the rant.
I mean, name one thing in that rant that he said that he tweeted that wasn't true. I mean,
yeah. Well, and the thing is, people are wondering already, like with the falling in ratings and attendance and whatnot. They're wondering, like, oh, well, there's not a downsize. Maybe they need a downsize. So the thing is, they have an $8 billion TV deal. They're not going to downsize when they have all that money flowing in. When you're going to see the real
Anytime soon.
downsize is like he was saying, 2024. So
That's when the television contracts are up, 2020. By the
and
way,
if you're looking at the way they're falling right now, who in their right mind would think this is a great deal to go on?
I'm going to say something real fast here. This is something entirely random here. Defending people of Reddit real fast who oftentimes would criticize, NASCAR YouTubers like us, say, what does a guy on YouTube have anything to say at all? Like, what does his opinion matter? Well, maybe it doesn't. I'm a fan of the sport. I love it. I'm always going to love it. And in my opinion, I have a lot to say, and I'll say it. But the ones you really need to listen to is people like Justin Marks, someone who is in the garage area, someone who knows exactly the ins and outs. He knows way more than I'm ever going to know about the sport. Listen to somebody like that, take it out of the horse's mouth, and not, demand feeding the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about reducing costs and stuff, but like, how do you do that though? Like,
well, it's like what's his name? Humpy Wheeler had said a few years ago. He was talking about reducing the costs and stuff, and he's like, why is a part that would cost $30 at O'Reilly cost $1,000 for a cup car? Why is it that a normal fan couldn't even buy one tire without hurting their wallet? That's what you got to kind of look at.
Super chat.
Real quick, thanks, Brent. I wanted to say thanks for the help, Danny. Helped a lot. Yeah, you're welcome. Me and him was talking earlier about something. Hopefully I was able to help you a lot there, and appreciate the support. It means a lot.
But yeah, I mean, with these cars and stuff, like there's things that over time I think the sport could probably look at just individual pieces to lower cost. And I think the constant rule changes, I think that is part of it too. I think when you look back at 80s, 90s, early 2000s NASCAR, they didn't have rule changes halfway through the season. They didn't change a ton of stuff, have complete overhauls on the engine and horsepower like they do nowadays. So when you look at that, of course it's going to be harder for small teams to keep up. Of course it's going to be harder for a team running in 30th to keep up with the technical side of the sport and keep up with, because especially when you have down economic times like NASCAR had for so long and still in a way continues to have, sponsors are going to look for their best interest. When people like Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., Casey Kane, the list goes on, Kurt Busch, all these people have problems finding sponsors, and they were at the top of the sport. So you look at somebody in 30th.
I mean, I was about to say Casey Kane's a champion. Kurt Busch, I mean, he's a former Cup Series champion. I mean, when he has trouble finding sponsors and stuff too, I mean, that's a huge problem.
Dale Jr., the most popular person in the sport. Danica Patrick, while not liked by NASCAR fans especially, is still a huge name. And people, sponsors were literally trying to get away from representing.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty amazing. Think about think about like Dale Jr. He's someone that when he signed to Hendrick, you would have thought, oh, great, Amp Energy, Mountain Dew, National Guard, they're with him until he retires. No, he had to keep finding new sponsors.
To be fair, National Guard deal was more of a government policy.
True.
But Amp Energy and Mountain Dew, Kelly Blue Book, all them.
Hey,
you got another one.
It's our good friend, the Reverend Rasheem Stewart. I always love reading Reverend Rasheem Stewart. I don't know why. I just always put a smile on my face. Do you think NASCAR needs more diversity? Yeah, actually, fun fact, I believe it was Darian here. He recently got followed on Twitter by NASCAR's Drive for Diversity program, and it's actually incredible to think about that. Not only are they looking for more diverse ethnicity of drivers, they're looking for more diverse people to bring into the business side of things, and that program is doing really good by seeking out talents that may be considered a minority or something like that. And I think they are doing a lot of good things with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it's going to lead or whatever, but I guess they know about my channel, I guess. So I mean, it's cool. That's pretty cool of them. So I appreciate that. But does NASCAR need more diversity? Yeah, of course. I mean, they've tried. So I mean, you already got Bubba in the Cup Series, and you got Suarez. I mean, he's a Xfinity Series champion as well. So we're pretty much going in the right direction, it seems.
Yeah, and I'd say,
and also, not to mention Dylan Smith and Jesse Awuji. They've been on our podcast. Yeah. Literally the first two drivers ever to appear on this podcast too. So
yeah. I definitely agree, and I think that more specifically though, they need a more diverse amount of drivers that do well. I mean, I love Bubba and Suarez. They're awesome personalities, but the performance doesn't match what I think they need to be. Same with
They've been
Patrick.
garbage. Just
Same with
call it
Dan.
like it is. They've been garbage this year.
They have, and I think that when they start performing well, I think that's when you're going to see the true effect of this program.
Hey, Bob Ross.
Yes,
what? Bob Ross here?
Yeah, we got a happy little co-host.
Yeah. Well, how's everybody doing tonight?
Good, man.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, to people in the chat, sorry I'm late. Moved to Thursday night. The problem with my schedule this semester is I have pretty much not all night classes, but most of every night of the week, except Wednesdays and Fridays. My evenings are pretty much taken up. So the moment we derail from the schedule, it completely destroys mine. So sorry I'm late, but I'm here now. Hopefully I haven't missed anything too great.
We've had some few interesting moments. We got on to the big rant that Justin Marks was going on earlier on Twitter about the difficulties of funding the sport and everything, which is a huge discussion even to continue to have later on. But you talk about your schedule and all. I do appreciate you being okay with moving to Thursday. Obviously,
for sure.
Obviously, your schedule's pretty bad, but mine is just unpredictable.
Oh no, I'm not trying to get any sympathy from you, Danny. I know you have it pretty rough right now.
Yeah.
As far as the Justin Marks thing, did you guys already talk about that, or can I chime in for a second?
Yeah, we
were kind of talking about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I read through his rant like an hour ago, and I like it. Like I think it's like it's cool that a driver's taking that stance. But at the end of the day, it doesn't accomplish anything because he didn't really say anything of substance. He didn't really say what we need to do to fix it. He just said we need to cut spending and make cars more affordable, which we've heard Denny Hamlin say over a year ago. We've heard Barney Visser say it recently. We've heard people in the sport already say that. So I'm okay with him saying it. I didn't like how doom and gloom it was because you gotta look at it from his perspective. He's a good driver who's kind of been shortchanged out of a ride because he doesn't have sponsorship. So he's clearly a little jaded in his perspective. And so I think, it just sounds very, what's the word? Not cynical, but it just sounds very cynical of him for him to act like the sport's hinging between life and death at the moment and that it's all because of this one thing. And he still, like I said, he didn't give any hard point. He didn't make any hard points as like, here's what we should do. He just said, we need to cut back spending. Everyone in the world wants to cut back spending, but that's easier said than done. So I don't know. I don't know what I didn't hear what you guys had to say about it, but I like him saying it. I'm fine with more people saying stuff like that because obviously something needs to change going forward. But, I don't like the unnecessary negativity when you're not going to bring anything constructive. And that's kind of how I felt about it.
I basically said the same thing as you. What I've noticed, though, is that a lot of the smaller guys in the whole NASCAR scene have been very outspoken. When the whole Brian France stuff happened, you saw Justin Marks tweet out something saying how disgraceful it was. You saw Tommy Joe Martin say something and whatever. It seems like the smaller guys don't have as much of a filter, I guess you would say, as the bigger team guys do.
Well, they don't have as many sponsors to try to appease. Like Kyle Busch can't say anything, and then all of a sudden he loses like $20 million a year.
Yeah,
these guys have nothing to lose.
Pretty much got nothing to lose and stuff. But yeah, I have to agree with you there. I mean, like I said before before you got on here. I mean, it sounds all good, but I mean, how? Like, what do we do? Like, how do we do it and stuff like that? So
here's a way how I know Harvick got mad at Dale Jr. for saying this last year, but younger drivers nowadays, they're going to take less money as their salary than somebody like a Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch. There's a reason that I think there's multiple reasons, but there's a big reason why Kurt Busch gets pushed aside for younger drivers all the time. There's a reason why he got taken out of the 2 car and given to Brad Keselowski, or then went, with the 41 and now is being pushed out here for Daniel Suarez, which could be just like a 1-year, rental deal for Cole Custer. So I think that's a big way the teams are going to initially cut the spending is, I mean, why would I spend $2 million a race on Kurt Busch when long-term Cole Custer, I could spend $750,000 a race for his salary and get the same, if not better results.
Yeah,
I think that's what we've seen so far. That and I think that's kind of what Justin Marks said in his tweet. He kind of said that right now it's all being thrown on the drivers. That's why Kenseth lost his ride last year because of money and it's being thrown on the drivers. And that's what he wants to change. He doesn't want it to be thrown on the drivers so much. He wants it to be thrown on the teams. And to that, it's like they have made some changes. They've changed like whatever the new body, the car bodies made to have something new. I don't know if it's in the Cup Series yet, but they've been testing it in the Xfinity Series. This is the whole purpose of the low horsepower, high downforce package next year is to eventually, hopefully, create a type of racing that doesn't require OEMs to make 900 horsepower engines. They want that's too expensive, so they want to find a way to make good racing at only 500 or 600 horsepower. That's what they're testing next year. So they're making strides. They can obviously do more, and they need to keep looking for new ways, and hopefully they do. But yeah,
I've noticed Brendan Little's been pretty quiet on this. What are your thoughts?
Hi, Brendan Little. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. No, pretty much what you guys said is spot on. I mean, like, I don't really know how to elaborate on it, but yeah, I pretty much agree with what you guys said on it. So
this is me spitballing here. And I saw this like on a comment. I can't remember what video it was, but should NASCAR consider having some sort of salary cap? I mean, you see it in all other sports. I mean, the NFL, the NBA, MLB. I mean, they have salary caps for a reason. I don't know. It's just I don't know exactly how it would work, but maybe have a salary cap on driver salaries, on like driver salaries, spending as well. So like teams are spending as much and stuff, like team spending and all that.
I think NASCAR is just a little bit too different from other sports to be able to do that and make it work.
Well, how so?
They do it in little ways, like with the pit guns. That was sort of a form of a salary cap.
Yeah.
Communism.
Restricting the team size down to 4 is the max. That's kind of a form of that, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing. I agree with you, Danny. I don't know that it would be super realistic. I don't know how they'd be able to do it.
I mean, you got to try something. I mean, it's better than nothing right now. I mean, spending's out of control in NASCAR right now. Again, this is just me spitballing. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say like, oh, let's just have a salary cap. Well, how would we do it? And honestly, I don't know. I really don't know how we did it.
I think what we've kind of noticed is like the more that we sort of try and curb what teams do, like in the mid 2000s, 90s, 80s, granted different time, but I mean, there really wasn't much stopping people from doing spending. There wasn't much stopping them doing spending and what they could or couldn't do, testing. And we saw that the competition was generally closer, where smaller teams like Front Row Motorsports, like at the time of Furniture Row, could come up there and compete once or twice. BAM Racing is another one. You look at, I can't remember the team name, but look at Ricky Craven in 2003.
That was wasn't that MB2?
No,
PPC Racing.
Yeah, but then you look at granted it was for safety, but at the same time, another thing about the COT was it'll cut spending for the teams because everyone have the same thing. And then we saw the gap from the good to the bad start to go out a little more. Then you look at like cutting horsepower to save money. Well, you've seen it with this past year, and from 2015 on, it keeps going further and further. Whether you look at qualifying times, or there's more distance between first and last than there used to be. Generally, I should say. So that sort of leaves again. Do you let the teams keep spending and try and sort of use that to not more or less motivate somebody else to make something new, to get that edge? Or do you keep trying to curb spending and see if that works? Because I think one extreme to the other will work, but you have to decide which one will. And that's where we look at sort of the problem here. If we're willing to let them spend in some areas but not others, they're going to get ahead in those other areas, I guess.
I'm sorry, I got those teams confused. PPC, that was the Busch team. The team was PPI. That was the Cup team that Craven drove for. That was the team.
Thank you, Ethan White, even if I don't like that score.
Definitely not what some people was commenting in the chat, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I like it. I like that score. I mean, you can see in the back, so it's good for me.
Yeah,
I guess.
I couldn't care less about the Rams. But yeah, so I mean, that's sort of my take. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot more nuance to it, I guess, than what Mark's brought forward. But at the same time, he definitely is in the right vein right now with this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, something's got to change fast. I mean, or maybe at least in the next couple of years here. So it'd be really interesting to see with this new Gen 7 car if maybe it's designed to have great racing, but also designed to have to cut costs. I mean, I think with every single car, NASCAR tries to strive for that. Let's have great racing and also cut costs. And it's, I don't know, but the last few years, it's been too good to be true with some of these cars they've came out with. So
I don't know how it's going to work, but even when they restructure the contracts with tracks and stuff in a couple of years, I don't know what all they're going to be talking about. If it's literally just getting a new schedule, or if there is going to be a point where they can discuss redoing the TV. Like one thing I know Denny Hamlin came out big against a while back was that the tracks get too much money from the big TV deal that NASCAR has, and that some of that more that needs to go towards the teams and go towards that stuff. And I don't know if this when they have to they get to restructure all those schedules and stuff. I don't know if that's going to come up in that conversation. I don't know if that's something that can be changed in 2 years or if we have to wait until 2024 or whenever. But if we could by 2021 or whatever, that would be pretty cool too. That'd be a great way to hopefully cut costs, because I feel like that's something NASCAR can just kind of put their foot down and say, you have to take less money or we're going to leave your track and you're going to be irrelevant. Like, there's a lot of tracks that they could do that too.
I'm going to make an argument for the tracks, and the way I look at it, think of it like a business. Say, take the movie business. If you're filming a movie on a location, and you have to pay whoever owns that location in order to utilize it and put it into the movie, no matter what. Same way with a sport. If you're using a venue, you need to be paying to use it for your broadcast too. So.
Well, I can tell you, I'm not going to tell you exactly how much LVMS made, but I talked with the track's vice president, and let me just say it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm like, wow.
I can't remember if it was, I feel like you might have mentioned this, Darian, from something somebody told you, or maybe I heard this somewhere else, but somewhere I heard that there was a track that maybe is nameless that basically didn't care. I think maybe Dale Jr. said this actually about some tracks. I think that's who it was. I think it was Dale Jr. said that some tracks really, they could not sell a single ticket and still make money all weekend.
No. Basically, no. What I know what you're talking about. What I was saying was there are certain tracks right now. I mean, let's be honest. NASCAR's attendance has gone down, and tracks they've been forced to find revenues outside of racing. I mean, LVMS, this is Las Vegas. They have EDC going on here. They also have the Las Vegas Police Department pay them to do driving drills outside of their facilities too. So they have revenue flowing no matter what. Tracks like New Hampshire and Kentucky, however, that's a different story. So when you're saying we need to, I guess it's kind of hard to make the argument that, we need to, give the tracks less money from the TV deals and stuff. Oh no, some of these tracks, they can live without it with a little less, but then tracks like New Hampshire and Kentucky, yeah, you can't do that.
And I think you look at you have to look at some of them that are making this extra money and could do fine without it. I think a lot of tracks might also be looking at sort of luxury spending. Can we get, instead of having bench seats, now we have cushion seats kind of thing, like Daytona, I think did. And you look at now they can provide free Wi-Fi within this much area kind of thing. So I think I don't think all the tracks, I think some of them definitely need them, especially the ones that aren't owned by the big corporation track owners, but the more the privately owned ones, I guess. I don't know how you would
the SMI ISC tracks, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think those ones would be fine with the cut in spending.
I'd agree.
Relatively amount, but a Pocono, for instance, it's how much of that money do they really need? Because compared to Las Vegas or Chicagoland, I just think that there needs to be a deadline, and I think they know this, but I think that fans should also realize there needs to be a deadline that they have for when they get this stuff all sort of rethought out and redone, because once 2024 rolls around, I think that we're in the last big era of giant TV contracts. TV is on its way out right now. I don't think that they're going to be spending $8 billion on NASCAR again. I just don't think so. I think
Probably
not the way it's going.
I think that like $2 billion, that's probably within the window. But I mean, you look, there's going to be a drastic funneling of money now. Like, what do you get it towards? What are the necessary things to get it towards, and what are the things that was a luxury to have that you got to get rid of now?
Yeah,
Look,
that's
you
true.
have all
I
this-
think I'll let you go. You can go.
No, I just wanted to point out this really quick. I mean, you have all this revenue flowing right now. I mean, it's not going to be there probably after 2024. So you got to make sure you spend it wisely and stuff. And maybe Jim France and them, they sort of realize that, and then maybe they're working towards towards less spending and all that and whatnot. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I still say eventually, I'd be open to the idea of a NASCAR network, like paid streaming app. But
Yes, I'd pay $10 a month for that. I mean, how much do you pay for WWE, by the way?
$9.99 a month. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I totally pay for that.
Yeah.
I would say them getting an $8 billion TV deal is unlikely, but I think, while TV's kind of on the way out, the one thing that TV is willing to spend a lot of money on is live programming, and that is one thing I've heard people say could keep NASCAR's value relatively high to a Fox or NBC or even an ESPN or ABC. Is the fact that it is, the only thing people really watch TV and see ads now for on TV is live sports. That's why the Super Bowl has always been the most coveted. That's why football dominates. You look at every year, you look at the top 50 most watched like individual programs, probably 40 of them are sporting events. Yeah,
that's true. NASCAR is the one sport that, although with football and basketball, yeah, they can cover a lot of that all weekend, but it's like they have to keep going different games. No, you can focus on the same thing all weekend with there's so much content that goes into the entire weekend. You've got your practices, you've got your qualifying sessions, you've got your various races from other series. NASCAR gives these guys so much more added content that they can fit into their programming lineup, and that is what is attractive to them.
And also, just to point this out, live events are basically a television network's bread and butter. So, I mean, no matter how big or how bad the ratings are, it doesn't matter. It's always their the TV network's bread and butter, basically. So, I mean, do I think we'll have an $8 billion deal? No, I don't really see that. But there's still going to be someone out there who's going to want to broadcast these races and stuff. But it just will be for less money.
Yeah, it'll be there like radio, but it's not going to be the main thing. Radio is still out there. I listen to radio on the way to work if my phone won't plug in right, but it's not going to be the go-to thing for, if you're looking at relevancy, radio is way down on that totem pole.
Mm-hmm. I mean, NASCAR, they need to look into. I mean, the NFL has already done this. Amazon Prime, Hulu, all these like streaming services that millions of people use. It's right there. But I don't know. It just seems that NASCAR, they're just stuck in their old ways. It seems like.
Well, and I know a lot of people are like, well, they stream like an onboard camera on Twitter, and it's like, well, that's a good start. I think that's a good start. Like, have a popular driver and do that with. But most people who might get hooked on the sport, like if you have a great finish, like we saw at the Roval, but instead we're on like Clint Boyer's onboard camera, well, they're not going to see that. I think you have to have the actual broadcast on there the same way that I believe Thursday Night Football does, if not all the time, does quite a lot with Twitter, is just have the actual broadcast on, have an agreement between the networks and the social media platforms and go from there.
You can, no matter what platform you're going to be showing it on, you can still sell advertising time no matter what. Just like on YouTube, like YouTubers can sell a couple minutes in their weekly videos for an advertisement spot. You can still do that if you're going to be streaming stuff like online too.
NASCAR should make, I don't know if you guys ever were subscribed to it, but I was for a couple of years back in the day. NASCAR Race View, they still have it. It's the 3D, they have like a 3D track and you can follow whichever car you want. They should make that free to use. Well, one, they should make it work consistently first, and then they should make it free to use for everybody and just run ads on it. Because that was for years such an awesome way to follow your, like, it was so awesome because you always had a camera on your driver and you had their radio and you had whatever radio you wanted. It was incredible. They need to make that free with just ads.
That sounds awesome, but
Mhm.
that'll never happen. I wish it did, but
They need to find a way. Even if they need to just stomach the loss for a year, lose a little bit of money on it for a year, but that just because that improves the NASCAR race TV viewing experience by 5 times 5. It's incredible.
Bring back NASCAR Hot Pass. I used to watch
Bring back any of it. They used to have Track Pass, whatever it was called, then Hot Pass, and then now they do like NASCAR Drive or whatever the heck it is, where you just got a couple in-car cameras. That's crap compared to Race View. They need to make Race View free.
Does make me think of one thing though. This weekend, apparently NBC is going to have the main race on NBC, but over on NBC Sports, I think they'll be showing the onboard cameras of the Championship 4, and I think Dale Jr. and Dale Jarrett will be doing commentary.
No, Lee Duffy and Dale Jarrett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got it wrong then. But yeah, they will have their own unique commentary for the NBC Sports coverage.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm glad they're doing that.
I saw someone in the comments just brought up a good point about it being this contract was signed in 2012. I mean, you look back at 2012. It was 6 years ago.
No, wasn't it 2013? I think it was 2013.
12.
It was?
Okay. The Fox part at least was 12.
Okay.
But you look back.
Maybe that was the NBC part, I think. So, all right.
But you look back at 2012 and 2013. Yeah, it's 5 or 6 years ago, but a lot has changed since then. I mean, you look at the charts of of engagement on social media and online, and it's skyrocketed since then. So I think NASCAR kind of got, once again, unlucky and caught at a bad time in a shifting period. The same way with the recession. When they signed their contract, in 2005 and 6, for the new one, and then the recession came right as that new contract is starting. People start cutting the cable and start cutting the cord. And from there, you have sort of a snowball effect. And then I think the same is going on with this. So that's like, I think
super chat.
I think,
sorry.
I finished. Never. Okay.
Yeah. Super chat.
Sorry, super chat. Sorry.
Yeah, in the future, let the person finish their point, then point out the super chat.
Sorry, buddy.
But yeah, thanks, Alec.
Oh yeah, good point. Click the like button. We need we need to get to 100.
We ain't said that already either, so there you go.
But yeah,
right.
they definitely they couldn't have. I don't think they could have seen how much social media and the online presence has nowadays. I don't think any of us really completely saw that coming. I think we saw it eventually down the road, but I think a lot of us saw it more as that'll be like a decade or two from now. When in reality, it's within 3 to 5 years of signing that deal. So I think NASCAR probably sees this. I would think they'd see this. And I think that they definitely need to use that as the adjusting period after 2024. Take that short-term loss for a long-term gain.
Yeah. Then again, this is NASCAR we're dealing with. So, yeah, I mean, but you had a lot of good points, but I don't know. With the track record, hopefully they'll listen, but we'll see. All right. So I guess that's it for
speaking of tracks, anyone hear what Steve Phelps was talking about? I want to say it was yesterday.
Oh, no. What did he say?
So he was talking about, and I don't have the full thing. I only saw a brief clip, but talking about the balance of short tracks and road courses and how many should be added with the new scheduling coming up. And he brought up a really good point. And I think it's something that I brought up too with the Roval. Is you look at the Roval, that was an awesome race, awesome event. More people than in a long time both showed up. Well, I wouldn't say both showed up, but showed up on TV watching audiences to see the Roval race. He brought up a good point though, is do you want to sacrifice how special that is if all these intermediate tracks now want a Roval? If they want if Kansas, Chicagoland, Vegas, if all these people, if there's 8 more tracks now that want a Roval, how does that take away? And if you have more road courses, how many can you put on before it's not something as special anymore? Same with short tracks. Do you want to oversaturate to the point where people are just used to short tracks and it's not as special? So we brought that good point up. So I just want to know what you guys think about it, and I see another super chat.
Thanks, Blue Jimmy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we've had a lot of those tonight. That sounds ridiculous, having 8 freaking robles, because then as soon as that happens, fans will probably get tired of them, and they'll say like, "Oh, why do we add these and stuff?" One's fine. Two is pushing it, but when you have 8, that's just ridiculous. I think
I'd say
add
2
more
or
short
3
tracks.
would be a limit.
And if we're gonna have more than one, space them out. Don't do them like all back to back or anything like that. Just space them out pretty good.
Hell, give Vegas a roval. I mean, we have an infield road course. I'd love that. Hell, give us a roval too. But no, like I said before, just more short tracks. Just add some more short tracks on there. And but I don't know. Even for short tracks, that might be a problem, because then people might say, "Oh, we have too many short tracks on the Cup circuit now." So I don't know. You can't really please everyone and stuff, but I mean, if they can at least strive for a balance, I mean, it's all good. It's all good to me.
I mean, I'd take a couple more rovals. I'd take 3 or 4. I wouldn't go over 4. You know, I feel like that. Then you get overkill, especially since all the rovals are unique. They're not all going to be laid out the same way as Charlotte's. I mean,
I want to say David Land was bringing up about Texas, maybe, because Texas has a roval layout.
I'd take anything to get past the scummy days of current Texas. You know?
I still say I just want to say I want to say the truck series get a second dirt track race and go to the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yeah. I mean, like I just said, Vegas. I'd love to see Vegas have a roval. I think that'd be an awesome race, and especially to open up the playoffs. And it's like hot and slick too, as well. I mean, you saw the race in September was pretty exciting there with all the wrecks and some of the tire explosions there as well. But imagine it on a road course, man. That'd be awesome.
Random thought here, non-NASCAR related, but kind of related because I was talking about dirt track stuff. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway announced recently that next year, and I think it's the end of May, early June, they're going to be putting down dirt at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and they're going to have a World of Outlaws out there.
Kind of like what Bristol did.
Kind of, yeah. But obviously, Fairgrounds is a much different track. It's a little bit more flat in the corners, so it'll still be pretty interesting. I didn't look into it enough to see if they're gonna have the sprint cars, but I'm obviously gonna try to go, being in Nashville. So
hey, y'all looked in the chat recently. We got Ace Moneymaker.
Ace.
Oh yeah, I saw him in the comments, man. Yeah, I saw him in the
Pretty
comments.
awesome.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
This is Ace Moneymaker.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Am I out of the loop? Who's Ace Moneymaker?
Okay, so back
Oh my god.
back in the
greatest
EA.
NASCAR game of all time, dude.
The what?
Yeah.
So back in
NASCAR, the
the
NASCAR games.
Jesus Christ.
From when?
Like 05, 06,
Florida,
07.
PlayStation 2.
But
Yeah.
like when you'd be on the career mode or whatever, you'd get a call from your agent, and it was basically just like, "Hey man, you really made someone mad this weekend. Okay, bye."
Pissed. No, sometimes he'd be pissed. He'd like yell at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically, it was just a character in the old EA games. It was pretty funny.
And
I don't
then
remember
he would
this guy.
And then he would also get mad if you like didn't call, which I'm like, that's not an option in the game. And he would always send you messages like, "Hey buddy, pick up your phone," and all that stuff. And I'm like, "But I can't call." It's like, I can't call you, man.
Well,
I can send you a message, but oh
I feel
god.
like this relationship only went one way.
Well, I'm sorry for not knowing who you were, Ace Moneymaker. I somehow have forgotten about you. I don't know what happened. I played a bunch of those EA, where I played 04 and 07 a lot, at least.
He was like, I guess in the terms of the alternate universe of NASCAR 2005, he was like Ryan Newman's agent, and he got you a ride in a modified, and then he became your agent. So it was a good time.
Another super chat.
Super
Oh.
chat from the same guy. Damn, how many super chats has he sent tonight?
Hold on, it hasn't loaded up on mine yet.
Danny B slow internet connection.
Yep. Yeah. Danny B refresh.
All right, I'll read it. Yeah, so he says 2 more rovals, take 1 race from Texas and Kansas, and add short tracks. So he says 2 more rovals at both Texas and Kansas.
Is he saying? Is he saying make Texas and Kansas into Rovals or take those out completely and replace them with short tracks?
Like one race from each of those tracks.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to get rid of a Texas. Don't get rid of my Texas. Come on.
Hey,
now.
I'm glad you didn't say Vegas. Hell, I'm glad you didn't say Vegas.
Americas.
Eric, don't you just go to Texas one time a year, anyways?
No, I used to only go once. Now that I have a car and I'm like 20 and about to be 21, I can go whenever the hell I want. So now I went twice this year. I think I went both times last year too. So,
Oh, you didn't have a car before?
I mean, I guess in high school I had a car, but it was high school. I don't know. I feel like I had more responsibilities. Now I'm like living on my own, like a real man,
So
a real American adult.
Apparently I know Ace Moneymaker. He's in a group that I'm pretty active in on Facebook. So he just needs to message me and tell me who he really is.
Who are you?
Hey, make a YouTube channel, man. Make a YouTube channel. What if it's the guy who voiced him? I want to meet that guy.
Apparently my fiance is in the chat. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, how long is it gonna be for?
I'm looking up this
Jade.
Ace Moneymaker.
Wait, where? Where? I don't see her.
She just said Danny be rich, and yeah, I bet.
Oh, I see her.
Let me look it up before we go on to anything about Homestead and Picks, because about the Busch beer car for.
That's not gonna really happen. That's not really gonna happen.
Hey, it's still fun to talk about.
Yeah, I know, but like, come on, guys, let's be real. Do you guys really think that's gonna happen?
If that car actually does happen, God, is that the most cringy car I've seen? Like
that is.
It looks like somebody in like their mid-50s trying to connect with millennials.
I think it said YOLO. I was like,
okay,
really?
I'll read all these things it has on here. So
no, don't please. Oh God.
No, I'm gonna. On the hood is their tweet.
Wait, I'm actually gonna go pull it up and present it. Actually,
well, I'll just read.
He can read them.
Fleek AF.
Oh, nice.
I'm not gonna say it because of my cussing abstinence. Turnt, stay woke. Don't. Fade, salty. YOLO swag. # basic. Yes, you are. Bye, Felicia. Bay. Oh my God,
it's cringy. This is cringy, dude.
Don't do it. Don't.
You're just making us look bad. Oh, and there's the car right there. Oh my gosh.
Well, I guess it's just the weirdest Photoshop I've ever seen.
And then on the freaking on the hood on the back of the car, there's a freaking tree and beer. What is that?
Well,
oh my God.
Hey guys, you know what they say? Go woke, go broke.
Dude, no, that's not a tree. That's a bush.
Oh, a bush. Sorry. Well,
shrub.
It looks like a tree on here. It looks like a shrub.
Bush beer.
Yeah, bush beer. Oh,
it's emojis.
Okay.
Oh, it's supposed to be like emojis.
Oh, bush beer. Oh, okay. Oh, that's really smart. There.
I'm just waiting.
No, then it has the freaking. Then it has the emojis, and then the. Oh my gosh, it's so cringy.
I like how they couldn't even get the proper Monster Energy logos on here.
I just want to see Kevin Harvick's fire suit. That's what I want to see.
This would be weirder than the the pink unicorn car that Kyle Busch drove.
I guarantee you, Kevin Harvick would not drive this car. He'd be like, "No, I'm not driving this. I'm not driving this for this race. You can get someone else to." I guarantee you, he won't drive it.
Fakes an injury.
He'd be like, "Hey Dale, can you bring JR Motorsports to the Cup Series for one race, please?"
Yeah, like I guarantee you, or no, I don't even think Stewart will even let this happen. He will probably be like, "No, man, we're not running this car.
We don't need your money that bad."
Yeah. Not for this one race. We'll find someone else, but not for this race. And then imagine if that car wins. I could just see people just on Twitter, just making fun of that car on Twitter and stuff. Even non-NASCAR fans just being like, what the hell is this? Like, just not understanding like the whole joke or context behind it. But, nah.
Well,
luckily, it's not going to really happen. So,
well, I know it's not specifically NASCAR related, is sort of a NASCAR channel. Do you guys hear what happened to Cody H Gaming?
No.
He just got a copyright strike from the NFL.
What?
For not even showing the game, just reacting to it.
Wow.
That darn enough.
Just now?
About 24 minutes ago. He's not happy.
Oh, his stream's not popping up. Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they took it down. He put it on Twitter, but yeah, so now he can't live stream.
I mean, maybe YouTube will go in and review that and say there was nothing actually bad there, but
I'm planning on doing a reaction stream to this Sunday's race. Would NASCAR copy that? Because I know they've been really hard on freaking Diet Hunter Do 88's videos, him reacting to stuff.
But yeah, so show support to Cody, I guess.
I mean, that's kind of weird because like we have had streams before in the past where we've watched a race, but we didn't obviously show anything, and NASCAR's not come after us for anything like that.
It's odd, but yeah, it's we're definitely if we talk about growth periods in media, we're definitely going through it with copyright and YouTube and whatnot. But hopefully he can get that resolved.
That's controversy for another day. I see a lot of videos and that kind of stuff a lot.
Speaking of former controversy, so a picture went out this week from a certain Jeremy Mayfield.
Yes. Yeah. If you guys did not hear, Jeremy Mayfield is planning on returning to NASCAR in the Truck Series for Cobb Motorsports in 2019.
So can we see the common denominator to why he and was not allowed back in? Can we just see like what it probably is looking like?
Yeah.
I mean,
old Bry.
Yeah, who I think he has another court date on the 2nd of December, if I'm right. But
you know, Bob Hawkers tweeted out something interesting. He's like, well, Mayfield still has to go through the whole road to recovery program. I'm like, well, if he does, then Brian France has to as well. I guess you could say.
So that's only fair. Another interesting tweet today was regarding like several press releases from NASCAR recently that have taken the word interim out of Jim France's name. They've just been calling him the CEO, which makes me think poor Brian France is not coming back anytime soon.
Yay! So, that's great. Hey, they give it a round of applause. Woo! About time.
I'm happy. Yeah. That's happy. I'm happy, joy. Happy,
One tear falls.
It's like
gently.
I'm just sitting here in Ren and Stimpy. Happy, joy, happy, joy.
Can we get 100 likes in the chat for no more Brian France for the foreseeable future? We're only 10 away.
Let's do it.
We get to 100 thumbs up.
Yeah, click the like button for no Brian.
Hashtag Brian be gone.
Oh, and since we're going through different news or different news stories, Jeffrey Earnhardt, you guys in the chat have been wanting to get to that all night. Jeffrey Earnhardt is going to make 9 starts in the Xfinity Series for Joe Gibbs Racing in his number 18 Toyota in 2019. So
good job, Chad. Good job.
I don't know. I gotta be honest here. I don't really expect much from Jeffrey Earnhardt. I don't expect him to dominate. I do think, however, a top 10 in each of those 9 races is a reasonable expectation. Anything lower than that's disappointing. As far as wins go, I don't really see it, but it would be cool, and it would be great for the sport, really great for the sport, if he can at least get 1 win. I don't think he's even announced what tracks he's going to be racing at, though. He's just said 9 races.
If he can't get at least a few top 5s, then there's a problem, because that car. That 18 car in the Xfinity Series, that is their bread and butter. That is their most prized possession, because literally it seems like any driver straps into it is going to have a good run.
What was it, Boyer? I mean, even a monkey could run in that car?
Except for Kevin Conway. He's about the only person I know that never really ran good in it.
Dude, it's literally the best car in there. I mean, Noah Gragson, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of his, but I mean, Noah Gregson's like I would say he's a B-level talent, or a B-plus level prospect. I mean, he finished 2nd in his first start. Wasn't he driving the 18? That was the 18 car he was driving, correct?
Yeah, literally almost won his first race.
Yeah, almost beat Christopher Bell, a full-time driver in there. So, I mean, if Jeffrey Earnhardt can't – I mean, he has to get a top 10 in each of his 9 starts. I think anything less than that's kind of sort of disappointing.
There's a comment in the chat here, Earnhardt in a Toyota outrages all redneck fans. Dale Jr. even tweeted, Jeffrey Earnhardt's been in a Toyota in the Cup Series all year.
Yeah, let's remember that. Let's remember, I believe some guy, God, I can't remember his name, like Ralph Dale Earnhardt won his championship, his first one in a Ford, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I know he raced in a Ford. Yeah. It's like,
Well,
come
at
on,
least
guys.
the Ford is an American car, you know.
Built for tough.
My
Like,
gosh.
I get
it's
it.
like
I'm
how
like, well, I get it. Manufacturer loyalty. Like, I get that. You know, like,
but Jeffrey
I won't
Earnhart's a
drive
journeyman.
Toyota, but it
He's
doesn't
a
mean
journeyman.
it doesn't mean that somebody in it doesn't mean somebody in Cup shouldn't. Like, just because a fan like me won't drive a Ford or a Toyota doesn't mean that a driver shouldn't, when they have the opportunity to drive a great car and have a great opportunity in their career, to move forward.
Listen,
Look, Jeffrey Earnhardt. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to say something right now. Just putting something to rest of all these fans who try to say, "Oh, Toyota shouldn't be in sport." You know, listen.
Oh,
Listen,
God.
I work for Beeman Toyota in Nashville, Tennessee.
Biased.
Biased. Yeah.
You're in your pocket.
I'm kidding, man.
Fair with me here because I'm being serious.
You call yourself an Earnhardt fan and you're working at a Toyota dealership? How dare you? Dale Sr.'s rolling in his grave right now.
Wearing a shirt of a Toyota driver. I mean,
Oh my goodness, is that a Ford thing I see behind you? That big number 6?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you, sir?
Yeah, Senior's rolling in his grave.
All right. But before y'all get me off a tangent here, okay, listen. Thing of Toyota, they are a very American brand. Like they have a lot of great American dealers. They have a lot of great American headquarters. They have a lot of great American factories, giving Americans great jobs here. And listen to this: if y'all have not been following the wildfires out in California, there was a guy on Instagram. He had a good following with his actual Toyota Tundra truck, and he called it the Panda. It's a bright white Tundra, a lot of good equipment put onto it. The dude literally drove back and forth, saving people from wildfires in this thing, come out looking like a toasted marshmallow. Toyota got word of this and saw what had happened, giving him a free Toyota Tundra because of the selflessness from that dude and how good the Tundra was to get him out. I mean, if that is a company for anyone to hate on, then I don't know why you're doing that.
Well, they hate on him because Dale Sr., he's rolling in his grave because it's a Toyota. Let's go back to the old day. Like, oh my gosh, some of you fans sound so ridiculous. I swear.
No, I do get where older fans, though, are coming from, being car guys. Like, I'm not going to rip on them because it's like.
Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Well, no, I'm not saying about drivers, just in general. Like, I get brand manufacturer or like manufacturer loyalty. Like, I am like that. But at the same time, I don't think it means that they shouldn't be in the sport. I'm not a Toyota fan by any means. I'm a Chevy guy.
I didn't see anyone have a problem when Jeffrey Earnhardt drove for the 32 and in his rookie year, and that was a Ford. Anyone had
bad. That's why.
Yeah, I mean,
no one noticed.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not making it a joke. I'm being real. Like. I didn't realize that Jeffrey Earnhardt was in the field that year until like halfway through the year. I got
a signed car. I got his car signed, his rookie car. For some reason, they were selling his rookie car. For some reason, I don't know. But
just like last year, he drove the Hulu car last year. I mean, Hulu is like Hulu is a big brand now. It's like what? Why was they? Well, I didn't know why Hulu was putting that much money into a car that wasn't getting seen. That didn't make any sense to me. But
by the way, he had 14 DNFs that season in that car, or I think it was 17. It was just a bad season. It was a bad season. If he wasn't running in like 33rd, he was running like he was just out of the race.
38th. He was 38th.
No, not 33rd. No, that's being too nice. Sorry. No, if he wasn't running in dead last or 38th, he was out of the race, basically.
Oh, apparently he had a show on Hulu. That tells me how much I knew about it. So.
No, he did. He did have a show, but I mean, Hulu left after a year, so it's like
canceled.
Yeah. One of the oddest sponsorship team combinations of all time. Like just because of how big Hulu is and how small that team is, and just how bad they were.
I'm surprised we've never seen YouTube sponsor a car. Just one race.
Yeah,
give it time. Give it time. I don't know. You gotta ask Susan Wojcicki not to put a copyright strike on the car.
Just a
Oh,
giant,
here we
car's
go.
just a giant
See, here's what's gonna
copyright
happen.
strike.
Here's what's gonna happen is we're gonna have a YouTube car, and then like right in the little corner, right at the corner, like right here, there's gonna be a little yellow dollar sign.
Every like
happen.
every like 40 laps, he has to pit for a 5-second non-skippable ad.
She's gonna demonetize the sponsorship.
Oh,
Don't demonetize the stream, please. Please don't.
Okay.
Susan Wojcicki.
We love you, Susan.
I don't.
Susan,
I'll be real.
Susan, come on the podcast. Tell us what you think about NASCAR YouTube.
Come on here and defend yourself.
I've seen some of the stuff that's been leaked about what she says about people, and I don't want to hear what her opinions are on NASCAR.
know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
That would not be good. But it probably would be like front page news. So yes, please come on.
I wonder
Hey,
if
you know-
possible to get one of those crazy campaigns to get someone to pay for one race, like the Daytona 500, for a subscribe to PewDiePie card to beat T-Series. Now,
Oh my gosh, I would seriously
would be
promote
awesome.
that. I'd promote the hell out of that.
That would be so cool. Yeah. So
That-
I'm looking at the time.
though.
I'm looking at the time. It's it's at least 6:41 where I am. I mean, do you
5
think this
o'clock
is a
somewhere.
good time? Yeah. Do you think this is a good time to maybe get into picks now? What
so
everyone's been waiting for.
Let's take this one race at a time, starting with the Truck Series tomorrow night.
Are we gonna pick the race winners or just the championship ones? Because like I'm not gonna do who's gonna suck and like I don't know that much about the Truck and Busch series. Sorry.
If
Yeah,
you
let's
feel-
just pick the champions.
If you honestly pick the champions, if you feel like anyone else can win the race, do it. But honestly, I don't think I'm leaning that way on any of them.
Yeah. All right, so I guess I'll go first with the Truck Series. That's what we're starting off with, right?
Yep.
Oh, and before we go, again, can I put in my request? Can people like update me on the score anytime it happens with that game?
Yeah. Okay, so Truck
You want me to read
Series.
off the Final four really quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead, do that.
All right, Truck Series Final Four: Brett Moffitt, Justin Haley, Johnny Sauter, and Noah Gragson in the voice of Vince Welch.
Wait, hold on. Can you do his impression of that Nemechek crash? He was like, "Ew." He's like, "Oh,
Down in Nemechek.
oh."
Oh,
I was like-
Nemechek.
I was like, what the hell did I just listen to? No, but we'll get into my pick first. Look, my heart says Noah Gragson, obviously, but my head, it's saying Johnny Sauter. I mean, Johnny Sauter has dominated all year long. He won the regular season points championship. I think it was by 56, something like that, something crazy. It was a big margin. I don't know. Sauter, I don't see him dominating, but I mean, I can see him winning the race, no problem, and also winning the championship. I think everyone want Brett Moffitt to win. Trust me. I sort of want him to win too and stuff as well. But I mean, I don't know. Johnny Sauter, I don't know. There's just no stopping him this year. So Sauter, that's my pick.
All right. Well, I like good feel-good stories, and the few truck races I've watched this year have all been won by this guy. And can anyone remind me of who won at Chicagoland after his team almost went out and his season almost ended the previous week before he won?
Oh, Brett Moffitt.
Yes, Brett Moffitt. Brett Moffitt has proven this season, when under the most amount of pressure, he can deliver. Granted, some of it's lucky. Again, like Chicagoland with what happened to John Hunter Nemechek. But he's still, nonetheless, he delivered. So I'm taking Brett Moffitt. Feel good champion. We got a great story heading into the offseason with him.
Oh, well, it's not going to last long because he has no plans for 2019. So,
Yeah, I mean, he
It's
didn't
just
really have
crazy.
any plans for 2 weeks after, or the week after Chicagoland. So
oh yeah, it could change. Yeah,
There you go.
It could change there. So,
he's proven that winning still and performing well still can get you somewhere in NASCAR. It's not all pay drivers. So I got Moffitt.
All right, so I'm gonna go next on that. I do like the season that Moffitt's been having. I do think that somebody's gonna take him. There's obviously too much talent there. I think he will have a ride next year, whether it's in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series. But I'm leaning towards him running another season in the trucks, to be honest with you. But I do also like Johnny Sauter. at the same time, though, I feel like Moffitt and Sauter are going to be very even with each other. Maybe something might happen to them. But also, I know KBM can really step it up, and I think that they might have been holding back just a little bit. They put together some great trucks for people like Kyle Busch in the past that can just go out and dominate. I wouldn't put it past him to give Noah Gragson a great piece and actually being his last chance to get a Truck Series championship for now, unless he ever comes back. I got Noah Gragson.
Oh, damn. That's a
different.
hey. I hope it happens.
They won it last year with Christopher Bell. They're going to go for another one this time with Gragson.
Kamikaze will be pissed. I know that much. He'll be pissed.
He should be on the All-Star one then next week.
Yeah.
I feel like Gragson, he's good. He's on the good, probably the most consistently good team, but he's made mistakes this year in races. I think back to like Dover, had, wrecked himself going for the win, I don't know if he's going to live up to the big moment. Sauter's been there several times. He's gotten it done before. He's an easy pick, but I'm going with my heart as well. I think Brett Moffitt gets it done. He's my truck champion.
Yeah, I think Brett Moffitt gets it done too. He's got momentum from the win at Phoenix, and he's been the most consistent lately, and I feel Homestead is just a track that suits him pretty well, so I feel he'll be champion.
That'll be a good battle.
Johnny Sauter pick?
Mm-hmm.
So we had 3 Brett Moffitts, 1 Johnny Sauter, and 1 Noah Gragson.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's go to the Xfinity Final Four.
Who do we have there?
That is Cole Custer, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Daniel Hemrick.
I don't, trust me, I love junior motorsports and all. It just confuses me. He won Daytona, but it just seems like I don't know how Reddick was able to really get into the Final Four and not someone like Allgaier, or I really hate Sadler's not got a chance.
Oh, it's the system.
He's just there.
Yeah. All right. Well, since I went first last time, I'll go again. Pretty much to me, this championship is already over before it even gets started. Christopher Bell, I don't know, just hands down. Obviously, I think a lot of us, a lot of you guys are going to pick Cole Custer based off of last year. I mean, he won the race by like 13 seconds, and he almost made it into the Final Four. So that would have been one of the most boring championship races ever. But I don't know. I just I don't see that same run from him again. So Christopher Bell, that's my pick.
Well, my pick is also Denny Hamlin's replacement. I'm picking Christopher Bell as well. I think he gets it done. I think he's the most talented driver out there. And I think it's I think by the end of that race, Denny Hamlin will be getting pretty nervous about his job security after next year. I really do. The way that Hamlin's been, again, Hamlin hasn't been awful, but for his standards and Joe Gibbs' standards, and with a younger guy who probably has a lot smaller salary, yeah, I'm taking Christopher Bell. He has a point to prove, and I think he will prove it.
Yeah, Hamlin's going to go winless this year. Even in 2013, he got a win. That was his worst season ever.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about Jimmy Johnson not winning. Hamlin is on track to be winless as well. So, and most likely both of them will be winless. But I guess one of them could and couldn't be. But most likely they're both going to be. Either way, going back to my pick, I saw my fiance. She picked Christopher Bell. I do like Christopher Bell. Obviously he wasn't in this series a year ago. But also he was in the Truck Series, and he didn't. He was a champion. He didn't win that race. It was Chase Briscoe. He won that one in the Truck Series. But for me, yeah, I'm gonna say Cole Custer. I mean, he got the win at Texas, 1.5 miles, so that means they've got a good idea of how to run a 1.5 mile race. Close to where they need to be, and obviously knew exactly what they was doing a year ago. So I am going to go with Cole Custer on this one to be the 2018 Xfinity Series champion. It might seem like he just kind of come in at the end and won it, but hey, that's what you got to do.
This is why this is extremely intriguing to me. You know how we all talk about or hypothetically, whenever Kyle Larson eventually makes it to the championship race in the Cup Series, he might be the favorite immediately. That's kind of where I'm at with Cole Custer in this case. Christopher Bell's probably the best driver in this Final Four, definitely has the most consistently best car. But Cole Custer, man, if there's any track that he would like the championship race to be at, this would be it. And you're right. I like that you brought that he won Texas. Who struggled at Texas? Christopher Bell. He spun out on lap 1, and then he got dunked by Mr. Cindric out there. So, Christopher Bell, I'm going to pick him. I'm going to pick Christopher Bell because he's working with a veteran crew chief who's won at the NASCAR's top level. That car is consistently the fastest. I think he is the best driver. But he had an ugly round of 8. He had incidents in each of the first 2 races, not completely all of his own doing, but he feels like he's kind of had a really rough playoffs. But I'm going to go with him because he does have the record now by for how many wins does he have this year? 7 or 8?
7 this year, which is a rookie record for
and it's tied, I believe, for the most wins by an Xfinity Series regular ever. So I'm going with Christopher Bell. He's great. He's going to be in the Cup Series in 2 years, probably driving the 11 car.
All right, yeah, I don't think Christopher Bell is going to win. I think Hemrick's going to get it done. And I say that because he's been the most consistent out of all of them, staying out of trouble. His pit crew is consistent. So if it comes down to a late race caution, I put my money on his pit crew. And he's hungry for a win. But I really don't think the champion's going to be winning the race Saturday. So as long as he finishes ahead of him and he's up there.
Who's going to win? Who's going to win then?
I think John Hunter will get it done.
So you're picking the champion not to have a win this year?
Yeah, I think he's the most consistent. So if he just
he is the points leader. He is the points leader under the old system. So with no wins, nice. And it wouldn't be the first time. Austin Dillon won the 2013 one, and he won 0 races. So it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I think that means that we're going on to our final 4, and just for continuity's sake, I'll read them off, even though we all know who they are already. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Kevin Harvick. Who y'all got? And will somebody win it if they don't win the race to win the championship?
Okay, so this is the big one right here. This is the big one. So I'm going to do a little bit something different. I'm going to go over each of the drivers and where I think they'll finish. Number 4, the guy who will finish the worst out of the final 4. Kevin Harvick. I'm sorry. I think Kevin Harvick's going to finish the worst out of all of them. I know he has 8 wins. Don't get me wrong. I know he's pretty good on the mile-and-a-half tracks this year. I don't trust his pit crew, however. And we know that this final 4, though, it's going to be really tight. I see all four of these guys running inside the top 6 all day long. So I don't know. It's going to come down to one final pit stop. We saw it with Joey Logano in 2014. His pit crew made a horrible stop on that last pit stop there, and it basically cost him a shot at the title. So I'm sorry, I don't see Harvick doing all that well towards the end. 3rd place, I'm going to go with Joey Logano. While he is consistent, he basically runs about 8th to 10th on these mile-and-a-half tracks. I really don't see him. I see him for this race. He'll get a top 5, but I don't know. I just don't really see him contending for the lead all that often there. So yeah. And then 2nd place here, I'm going to go with Truex Jr.
Okay. Never mind. I was going to say you might as well tell us the first one because that would obviously give away.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think out that well, but I'll just keep going anyways. But so yeah, 2nd place, Truex Jr. I see Truex Jr. finishing 2nd to Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is a beast on these mile-and-a-half tracks. A 5.2 average finish on mile-and-a-half tracks this year. He will get win number 9, and he'll get his 2nd career Cup Series title.
So you think Kyle Busch is going to win the race and not Kyle Larson?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder how far you've fallen out of love with Larson because 5 or 6 weeks ago you were like Larson till the day I die. Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough. I can understand.
Larson got eliminated. So
based on this, Darian will die on Sunday.
I did say Kyle Busch would finish 2nd to Larson. So now that Larson's falling out,
just bump him forward. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Darian's going to jinx him just like he did Larson. No, my pick, I'm not going to go through all 4 of them. I'm just going to be straightforward with it. Kyle Busch is going to win it. I think he's going to win it over Kevin Harvick. I think Truex will be near there, and I think Logano will be a little further back. but I don't think he'll win the race. I think this driver is going to he's winless this year. I'm pretty sure he's winless this year. Has struggled. I think he's going to be similar to a 2010 going into 2011 Carl Edwards, and similar to a 2013 going into 2014 Denny Hamlin. I'm going to go with Kyle Larson because I do think this is Erie Breakthrough. I think he as well has something to prove, and it will be overshadowed by the championship. So I don't think in the offseason as many fans are going to be thinking about him or remembering him in terms of a possible championship contender, the same way they did to Carl Edwards in 2011 and to Denny Hamlin in 2014, both of which were in championship battles at Homestead. One was in the Final Four in 2014, and Carl Edwards ended up tying Tony Stewart. So
if only Larson was in Joe Gibbs' equipment. If only.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got Larson winning the race. I have Kyle Busch winning the championship.
For me, I've also got someone who's not in the championship for winning this weekend. As far as my champion goes, though, I believe Martin Truex Jr. is going to get it done, go out in style with Furniture Row Racing, and Truex and 78 team are going to win the championship. I feel like it's going to go back and forth a lot between him and Busch and Harvick, but just in the end, kind of like the same way as last year, I think that he's just going to hold on just enough to be in front of one of them. But I don't see him winning. I do see someone being a little too late. And actually, based off the way they've ran a lot of mile-and-a-half tracks this year, they've had great performances at other tracks that have kind of similar banking to Homestead. I see Eric Almirola winning this weekend. Just a little too late.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that Almirola pick.
I do want to ask everyone, make sure you remember what your picks are so then we can review it next week.
Yeah.
I would love if one of us got all three of them right. I'm just saying.
Oh, for the Trucks Xfinity End Cup, yeah.
Yeah, just like a clean sweep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well.
It's going to be pretty hard to get all that, but I'll try.
Carnation clip this part so we can go back and refer to it.
The entire segment.
just this like 7-minute bit. Anyway, it's been longer than that. My pick for the Cup Series championship, I already made a whole video about it. I won't waste too much time. Kyle Busch is going to win the championship. Kevin Harvick has more wins than him on mile-and-a-halfs. 2 of them have been encumbered, however. So if you factor those out, Kyle Busch has more wins at mile-and-a-halfs this year. He's got by far the best average finish. He's got the best average finish of anybody in the Cup Series in general. So not only is he the streakiest in terms of getting a lot of wins, he's also somehow the most consistent. So it's hard to bet against Kyle Busch. The only reason I guess you would is, he did win ISM, I guess, but I feel like in these playoffs he's been a little up or down. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick did win Texas, albeit with a rough spoiler. And, Kevin Harvick, people were saying in the chat, they did swap out his pit crew for this weekend's race. They didn't swap out the entire pit crew. They only swapped out the rear tire changer. So it's not a full pit crew swap, but it basically just proves that what we've all been saying all along, that Kevin Harvick's pit crew sucks, and Tony Stewart and Gene Haas knew that and decided to make a change. And that doesn't make me feel any more confident because now there's a new guy changing your rear tire. The sink's going to be out. It doesn't make me feel any better about Harvick's team. I think Kyle Busch, he's just got the best overall balance. Speed, driver, pit crew, support. He's the only Gibbs car in this Final Four, excluding Truex. I see him get it done. I think it'll kind of be like a flip from last year with Truex leading Busch to the line. I think Busch will probably be leading Truex and maybe Harvick. We'll see.
Wait, but Harvick's your boy. That's your boy according to Twitter. You love Harvick.
I don't know where that ever came from. I've never been a fan of Kevin Harvick. I mean, early in the year when we would always do our predictions, and I think out of the first 12 races we did, I think the only 2 predictions I got right were the ones I picked Harvick. So maybe people assume I'm I respect Harvick for making me look good every now and then.
No, dude. No, I'm just kidding. I saw your Twitter, man, on Sunday. No.
I get it. Oh no, I wanted Harvick to be eliminated in glorious fashion. It's a shame it didn't happen, but it was looking so close. I'm just glad he didn't dominate ISM.
Eric, we're gonna be holding you back at Bristol if we get anywhere near Harvick.
Oh, I don't hate Harvick. Let me make this clear. It wasn't that I hate Harvick, and I hate his team. I don't like Rodney. I've never liked Rodney Childers. I think he's as bad as Bill Belichick or old Chad Knaus. I don't like Rodney Childers at all. Not a
Old
fan.
Chad Knaus.
You know?
Yeah, you're like, dang, I feel sorry for new Chad Knaus. I mean, this guy, gosh.
He's so likable. He sucks.
Oh yeah, like I've been rooting for Jimmy Johnson this year, but man, I'm really thrilled he's not working with Chad Knaus next year.
Yeah, and you think he's bad? I mean, Drew Blickensderfer still the most hated crew chief I've ever. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Well,
Matt Kenseth won a Daytona 500 with Drew Blickensderfer. I can't hate Drew.
Oh, didn't they miss the chase that year?
They did, but he won the Daytona 500.
That's how bad you are. When you miss the chase with Matt Kenseth, that's how bad you are.
Montoya.
I missed the opportunity to say this. You talk about Bill Belichick. Titans handing that L to the Patriots this weekend.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they're probably going to lose in the wild card. Go ahead, make your pick, Brendan.
All right. Well, I think Kyle Busch will get it done this weekend. He's been the most consistent on mile and a half. He's, again, got momentum from ISM Raceway. And then his restarts, if it comes down to a late race restart, they've just been perfect. So I think he's going to get it done. And then Larson will win the race. So
that's three of us that think that it's going to be is it 3 or 4 of us that said a non-playoff driver is going to win the race?
And that's a Logano fan who even said, like, yeah, Logano's not going to win the title, but Kyle Busch is, though. So that says a lot right there.
I like the Larson. I like the Larson fan 8842 put copyright strike for saying Titans and Patriots.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty good. But yeah,
it's really quick. It's weird. He's not showing up on the stream, by the way. Brendan isn't. If you
you're right.
He's not showing up on the stream, but they can hear him. I don't know. That's weird.
That's weird.
He's right here. He's right here, guys. Like,
I see him.
He's here on our screen.
Within our Google Hangout, I see him, but I do not see him on the stream. That is
Oh my
weird.
gosh, he's a ghost. That's spooky.
Yeah, he's a ghost. Yeah, it's weird. I thought I was going crazy for a second. I'm like, wait,
toast. Anyway, yeah. So I think that about covers it. I literally have a list of like just stuff we're talking about, and we've talked about every point so far.
Given that we talked about how like no darn Toyotas, like we all basically just picked a clean sweep of Toyotas to win the championship. Like most of us picked Kyle Busch, most of us picked Christopher Bell, most of us picked Brett Moffitt or Noah Gragson. So we're basically all in on Toyota.
I think
old school fans hate us.
I think my Cole Custer pick was the only Ford.
And
Hey, so
there's no Chevys in Cup Final Four then.
Wait, was there a Chevy in anything?
Yeah, Reddick.
Oh, Reddick, yeah.
That TRM.
Yeah.
I was wondering why so many people.
And Johnny Sauter and Justin Haley.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't it be
So
awesome?
it's not all bad. It's not all bad.
Wouldn't it be amazing though if Justin Haley won the championship in the Truck Series after that like terrible Daytona finish?
Oh yeah, that was rough.
Just to be
It'd be-
like, so
it'd
that
be
people don't
retribution.
remember him for that year for Daytona, they remember him for being a champion.
Oh, he's also won some this year, but
The fact that he's in the Final Four is pretty memorable.
Caleb, I like that. He put breaking news: Teresa Earnhardt sues the absolute blank out of Jarrett for all the Dale stuff. I'm still gonna see if I can make it throughout the end of the year with my cussing abstinence.
Hey, really quick. Speaking of manufacturers, it's Dodge's last race.
Oh
yeah.
That's right. It's Dodge's last race.
Can we get a bunch of F's for Dodge, please, or a bunch of D's?
Yeah,
Give me all those
Yeah.
D's
Let's
for Dodge.
Get some D for Dodge, okay?
Yeah, let's fill this chat with some D.
I'm so immature. I'm so immature.
Let's just all of you that call me immature, just remember it wasn't me who said that. I only laughed
Jesus,
at it.
there's
I
a
didn't
lot
say
of
that.
D's.
There we go.
That was a lot of D's.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll do whatever we say. Let's do B for Danny B. Come on.
No, they're just gonna keep doing these. One B. But yeah, I don't know. They're switching to Toyota next year with Timmy Hill driving, I think. So
An
I don't know.
upgrade and a downgrade. How'd they do that?
yeah, I know, man.
So they're just gonna stay the same.
Yeah.
So hopefully Dodge will end up returning to NASCAR. Hopefully in the near future, I hope. But I don't know. For now, they're officially, like, I guess, unofficially gone again, I guess you could say. I don't know. They were basically still, what's funny is, in the Xfinity series, they still count them towards the, manufacturer's championship. Like, literally, go look up the standings for that, and Dodge is, like, last.
So it's like NASCAR Thunder 2004 once again.
Pretty much.
Oh,
no, wasn't Pontiac always last in those standings?
They always went back and forth.
Yeah, Dodge and like it was always Chevy and Ford battling it out, while like Dodge and Pontiac were always like on the bottom. I think the best Pontiac driver in that game was Ricky Craven, and he would always finish like 17th in my standings.
He was always in the 20s for me.
Yeah.
The only time Pontiac did well in that game is if I drove a Pontiac.
However, I did push a Pontiac to their first win. Ashton Lewis ended up driving the 4 Pontiac in like 2006 in my career mode, and I pushed him to the EA Sports 500 win.
Nice.
So it was like their first win in years.
Need to watch that kamikaze video on NASCAR Thunder 2004 with Casey Mears.
Yeah.
I need to go back and play like an older NASCAR game now that I know actually how to hold lines and stuff, because back when I was a kid playing them, gosh, I'd be like just crashing everybody, hitting the wall.
It seems like everybody, it's like, oh, it's almost like a rite of passage. You have to do a career mode or a season mode with 2004. So
no, so literally when I was little, for short tracks, when I was starting out, I would literally ride the wall the whole time through the turns. I would hit the wall and I would always get the pole every single time.
Oh, you took the Stephen Wallace line.
Pretty much, yeah. Like at Martinsville, I would just go in there full throttle, hit the wall, bounce off, and then they're like, pole position, great job.
Like, you got us the pole.
I remember NASCAR 2003, I would like always mess up the system and somehow like cause like a caution, be pit in the lead, but like be coming back in the lead, but I'm actually in the back, like way behind everybody for some reason. But I'm listed as the leader and somehow still win the race. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but it's working.
Oh, they're at the tail end of the lead lap.
I just loved how in the NASCAR Thunder 2003 career mode games I would play, like in the game modes. After one season, Greg Biffle and Casey Atwood would just retire because they were so bad. They would just like straight up retire.
Oh yeah,
all the time. Oh, and Frank Kimmel as well, because they had him full time that game.
I remember, what was it, NASCAR 2005? Jeff Gordon retired in like 2006.
Didn't someone say? Oh, hold up. This was in one of the game chats I was in last weekend. So Slappy Joe told me a story on how Terry Labonte ended up retiring, and guess who his replacement was? Derek freaking Cope replaced him in the
wow.
The meme lives on.
And then Derek Cope, he was so old, he retired. And then I don't know.
And then who was he replaced by?
I think he said I think it was Kyle Busch though. But just the fact that Kyle Busch had to wait a year for Derek Cope.
Wait.
Michael Waltrip, then all the memes in one car.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Our buddy Keplinger would be so happy if it was Michael Waltrip.
Dude, that's taken on a life of its own. I'm thinking about doing a good seasons before I do another bad seasons on him. But
you need to get
good seasons.
You need to get him to help you narrate that one or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Also, and really quick in other news, Jarrett, do you want to talk about like your video, what happened maybe, or kind of leave that off there? Or?
No, it's not. Nah, I'll talk about my future video coming out probably tomorrow. And, a possible, since we're probably getting close to outros, and a possible reaction that might be coming either this weekend or next.
Okay, well that's interesting.
Yeah, so let's do our outros. Should I just go first then?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, thank you all so much for watching. I'm the Iceberg. Subscribe to all these guys, and I will have possibly for sure one video coming out tomorrow. The one for sure coming out is going to be on the Prince of Alabama, Davey Allison, a missing rings video. So be sure to watch that one. And then maybe the 50 Shades of Grey stream.
No, it's not a maybe. It has to happen.
Again, I say maybe because it's either Friday or Saturday. But yeah, 50 Shades of Grey stream and super chat.
Super chat, another one.
Appreciate it, Blue Jimmy. Great podcast, guys. I wish you all the best of luck in the Pro Series. I might make a prediction video, and I hope to help promote the series this year. That'd be awesome. That would be fantastic.
And we have our hashtags. Everyone should say our hashtags. So I'm hashtag Instigator Nation. So use that on Twitter for me. There you go. There you go. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Good night, everyone. I'll do my outro next, man. Oh man. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I can't even talk. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Subscribe to everyone's channels as well. By the way, Black Flags Matter on my channel this Monday. Championship seasons 2018. Who's it gonna be? I think it's gonna be Kyle Busch, but the day after the champion is crowned, expect a video from that. And also throughout the off season, expect other videos from the 2018 season as well. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I'm moving to the NBA, guys. I'm sorry. I can't do it. So, that's right. I'm officially retiring now.
Someone's got to cover that dying sport.
So yeah, I'm moving to the NBA, guys. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. I'll never see you again.
Stop crying, Jeff Gordon.
Oh, he's gone. Wait, that's not an NBA team logo. That was
no, you fine. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not going. I'm kidding. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, now he's gonna be replaced by White Flags Matter.
Yeah.
His roommate, White Flags Matter.
No, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. I'm not going anywhere.
Hello, another super chat. I think we're gonna have a super chat at the end of each outro.
Yeah.
Yep. Appreciate it, Alex. Or Alex, sorry.
Thanks, Alec. And yeah, I'm Eric. You know where to find me. Thanks, everyone, for watching tonight. Sorry I had to miss the beginning, but the second half was a lot of fun. At least I thought it was. Hopefully everyone enjoyed in the chat. Thanks again for watching. I'll put my hashtag in the description or in the chat for you guys for the YouTube Pro Series. That's starting pretty soon. When is that? 30th is the first race, right?
No. Next Sunday. Next Sunday is the duels.
Oh, well, we got the duels. I apologize. Yeah. So that's true. Be here for the duels as well. But yeah. Also, for me, I got my last couple out of the grooves for the NASCAR season, talking about Homestead coming out early next week. But then I'm still have videos coming out all throughout the off season. A lot of them are going to be talking about the 2018 season. I got a couple fun ones planned upcoming. But also once we get into January and February, I'll be looking ahead to the 2019 season. So there's going to be no shortage of content. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching, y'all. And yeah.
Hey, guys, real quick, I want to share this. So I want to do a share screen really quick. Oh,
another super chat. Two super chats. Oh my gosh.
Super duper chats.
Okay. Appreciate it, Blue Jimmy. Am I taking y'all? No, you are perfectly fine. No. Ken, thank you so much for the $10, buddy. I appreciate that.
Okay, so I'm gonna screen share. So the stream that, because I have the stream in the background so I can see the chat. If you present me really quick, I want to show you what I've been seeing for the last hour.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
What even?
I don't know. It just stopped, and you're just sitting there like that.
You just gotta refresh it.
I don't want to refresh it though, because every time I go, I smile.
Oh man.
Wholesome Danny B.
So yeah. So I another little moment of levity there at the end.
I like that. Danny be drunk again.
On stream.
The downfall of DannyBTalks.
Clip that, Carnation.
Clip it, buddy.
Mr. 1,000 subs.
That's right.
Boy.
All right. Who's next?
Oh my gosh.
I go next.
All right.
Yeah, so we do have Brandon Little. You cannot see him, but he is here.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. And yeah.
I can't. I'm watching it right now. They can't see. It's funny. It's just funny. I don't know why. It's just hilarious.
That's the weirdest.
Somebody make a meme out of Danny on that.
Eric Kiplinger already did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where?
On Twitter?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, he got a good screenshot of it.
Oh my gosh. He's the
This is gonna
man.
be good. All right.
All right.
Where is it?
What? I saw the picture of Kevin Harvick. That's a pretty derpy one too.
Yeah, I guess I'll go on and retweet it.
I will too.
Yeah, it's kind of blurry, but he got a screenshot of it.
Oh, by the way, shout out to N2SC4. He got the keys to his new house today too. So that's
Oh,
Oh yeah,
sick.
congratulations.
And he's back. I know he had to evacuate from the fires and stuff.
yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
All right. I think it's a show.
All right. Well, everyone, it's been fantastic. We're ending with 109 likes. If anyone wants to go ahead and lick the like button one last time before you go ahead. Appreciate everyone for watching. Not going to do a 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about next week. Instead, I'm going to do a driver we should never forget and pay honor and memory to the life and legacy of David Pearson next week. So that's going to be my target video for next week. I look forward to releasing that to you guys. And where are we streaming at next week, guys?
We're on Eric's channel, and we're probably going to be doing an all-star episode.
All right. And before we go, Ken's did do another super chat. Thank you so much, Ken. Missed the episode being live. Danny, loved the content this week. Iceberg and Black Flags Matter. Watch. Okay. Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. We appreciate the support there, Ken's. And this has been a very wonderful podcast. We only got a few more to go for the season. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you back next year on DannyBTalks whenever we start back up. And hope y'all had fun. It's been a good show. And but what are y'all laughing at?
Nothing. I'll tell you after. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been DannyBTalks. By the way, PewDiePie, I can do this too. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.